Alright, we're good.
Be like,
Bussin' with the boys, hanging with the fellas, betting on a game. No woman's gonna tell us what to do, and I've been over here just drinking beer and making that noise. Baby, I'm hanging with the fellas, bussin' with the boys.
Bro.
We rolling? Yes, sir. Let's cut it and roll, baby. Let's cut it and roll. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Bussin' with the Boys. This is episode 290. All right. All right. We have a great podcast for you today. But before we do, if you're joining us for Sam Morril, if you've seen a couple of clips before, it's important for you to know that we do a lot of digging on our numbers. We do a lot of looky-loos on a couple of things when it comes to subscribers.
KPIs.
If I knew what that acronym meant, I would join in, but I don't, so I'm going to keep acting tough until I can totally figure it out. There are people who are subscribed to this podcast, and there are people that are not subscribed to this podcast. Now, the numbers, you're thinking, it's probably 10%, Taylor. It's probably 10% of people that are not subscribed watching the views. Au contraire,
It's over 10%?
it's actually sometimes even over 50%. But we'll just say, well, it's 60%.
It's 60?
60% of people who watch this show are not subscribed. And listen, I'm not a beggar.
We don't want to
all
spread
right?
some red ass.
I'm not sitting on the corner with my panhandling for you, saying asking for change. But if you could just do me one favor and just click the button that says subscribe, and it goes from subscribe, binks up and says subscribed, you'd be doing us a big solid.
You don't even have to hit the bell to get notifications. We'd love for you to.
Yeah, you don't.
But we just want you to subscribe.
We're going to take it a step at a time with you folks, all right? We're not going to put you in bed right away, but let's start with a couple of drinks, couple of icebreakers. Hey, how are you? How's your mother? How old were you when your parents got divorced? Those types of things.
We just want to read you a book, and when we say we love you, we want you to say it back.
Yeah, that's all we want.
That's all we want.
Because at the end of the day, all we want in life is a little bit of love, and you can help that process by just pressing the subscribe button. And now that you've possibly pressed the subscribe button, you've taken a little moment of your time, let me tell you about the greatest vehicle ever made in the entire world. And that is the Chevy Silverado, presented by our good friends. Guess what? At Chevy, there's a reason we've never done a tier talk for the best trucks, and that's because for Bussin' with the Boys, there's only one pickup truck, and that's the Chevy Silverado. Why is that, you ask? It's because Silverado is a partner you can depend on. We've all spent time driving and using a Silverado for all kinds of adventures and other shenanigans. Silverado was a partner with us in a spring tour, and they are going to be on the fall tour, which we'll tell you much more about right when I'm done with this ad. Silverado brings the grit to legendary grit. Paired with a modern truck tech inside and out, massive screens, up to 8 cameras.
8?
8 of them. Even
How many
numbers.
different views?
You got 14 of those, Willie. I'm glad you asked. To help making driving, towing, and parking all easier. 4 different powertrain choices. That's variety. And in this world, we all just want a little bit of variety. We don't want to get stuck in one thing.
Variety is the spice of life.
I love that. There's a reason why Chevy is America's most awarded brand for new vehicle quality over the last 3 years, according to J.D. Power, which I'm pretty sure they're the top dog in that category.
The top dog.
Top dog. So head over to Chevy.com and build your own Silverado and check out all the current offers on Silverado. Discover a world of strength and capability, all behind the wheel of our favorite truck, the Chevy Silverado. Chevrolet received the highest quality number of awards compared to all their other brands in the J.D. Power 2022 through 2024 U.S. Initial Quality Studies. Visit jdpower.com/awards for more details. Awards based on 2022 through 2024 models. Now.
Next week, I'm going to hold my breath the entire time you do that ad read.
I was kind of ripping, huh?
You were.
Do you know what it was? It was the juice that Sherm gave me right before we got. Can I just get a touch of that song real quick? Where we don't
play it over 10 seconds.
Don't play it over 10 seconds, but just let me get that. Let me just get something out of it. God.
Hey,
get you juiced up.
Football's back this week. All right, football's back because preseason, but we got Florida State, Georgia Tech. We got actual football happening.
5 days, 4 days when you're watching the show. Let's give it a round of applause.
Football! Juice me up! If you're here for Sam Morril, we love to obviously banter, talk about our lives. We got a few things on the docket before we get to the Sam Morril episode, which Mitch and Sherm do an incredible job with the timestamps. If you were here last week for Rich Eisen's episode, they were abysmal. But however, they will have the timestamps right for this episode. So if you want to jump ahead, go ahead and do that. You're free to do so. But the boys will be talking about, number one, you said it in the ad read, our fall tour. We have our schedule. Jack's judgment. Jack's
audit.
For his audit for him getting a Chevy Silverado. The comments are going nuts. Everybody is screaming at the top of their lungs. Where is Jack's Chevy Silverado? We will get to that. The boys are going to Camp Barstool this week. We're going to talk some football. We're going to talk some preseason and have a good time. And then we'll get into Sam Morril. Football!
So where do we start?
Let's just say what our fall tour schedule is.
Let's get it out of the way. August 31st.
Drum roll.
Notre Dame at Texas A&M.
Boom!
All right, again, just a reminder. I didn't say this in the episode, but we will be at the A&M game versus Notre Dame, and we will be outside tailgating with the Twisted Tea tailgate. That'll be from 3 to 6 p.m. Game kickoff is at 6:30. We'll be at the Twisted Tea tailgate from 3 to 6 p.m. outside of Kyle Field. Find the boys. We'll be on socials, letting you guys know where we're at. Follow along at Bussin WTB. But 3 to 6, we will be at the Twisted Tea tailgate for the Notre Dame at A&M game.
Now, how do they outdo themselves? The next week, September 7th. We got a big doubleheader. We are flying to Ann Arbor, Michigan for Michigan versus Texas. And then we're going to hop on the old bird, as Will Compton likes to say it, head over to Nebraska, Lincoln, Nebraska, where the boys are taking on Deion Sanders and the Colorado Buffaloes. The following week.
No.
Bye week.
Not following week.
I know. Well,
sometime in October. Ohio State and Oregon.
Let's go! Also, small, not part of the fall tour, but just a part of my life, September 14th. UFC at the Sphere!
Fighting! Hey, just chill! If you're new here, this is not us all the time, but if you enjoy it, sound off in the comments. Sound off in the comments.
If you like it, say it. If you don't like it, keep it to yourself.
Drop a caps lock football with exclamation points all over the actual comments. Not the live chat, the actual comments. And live chat too.
Now there is one more game. Let me get a drum roll. To be determined.
Alabama and Tennessee.
Oh, shit! Yeah! Go Vols!
Hell yeah, boys.
That's it, right?
That's it.
That's it, because last week there was a possibility there would be a TBD. Obviously, I don't listen to the meetings.
The TBD that people understand is baby number 2 comes mid-November. So
Win.
Due date is November 14th. Flag football, women's. All right, we will go. Taylor, the boy might be going to the game. Michigan, Ohio State. That's TBD. That's TBD.
Your mic.
What?
You gotta mess with recording.
Thank you for staying with us.
Am I good? Hold on. Hold on. Are we good?
We're riding high, man. Football's here.
Are we good?
No. You gotta unplug it.
Dude, fuck it.
Hey, let's take 5. Let's have a timeout.
You sure?
Let's have a timeout. We'll just take 5. We'll just take 5. Sorry about those technical difficulties. We are back with BWTB 290. 290. Sorry for getting a little over the top right there. The boys get really excited about football being back. Easy. The mic was broken in Taylor's chair, so we're going to have a long week ahead of us. Let's talk preseason football.
Relaxed.
Hey, Bo Nix looked good.
Did he?
Bo Nix looked good. I know it was a tough weekend. We had JP's wedding, which we'll get into a little bit. We'll get into a little bit because we got to wait for the boy to get back. Right now, he's probably on his 3rd nut, 4th nut. Who knows?
Yeah.
The boy's
multiple
excited.
Nuts. It's multiple nuts.
Yeah, it's a multiple. Yeah.
We're going to be relaxed about it.
But the few, and a lot of it was highlights too, but everybody's raving about Bo Nix. Broncos look a little tough. And also, let's just talk about the AFC West in general. Gardner Minshew named the starting quarterback for the Raiders.
He did.
Beat out, is it O'Connell?
O'Connell?
Aiden O'Connell.
Aiden O'Connell. My fault.
We were right.
My fault.
We were right.
You saw Peyton Manning break down at the Fanatic show, Justin Herbert being like a top 5 quarterback in his mind.
I love that.
Also, you got Patrick Mahomes. He hit a little behind the back pass, maybe on like short yardage play. Looked very crafty.
In the words of Adam Sandler, and longest yard, some backyard bullshit.
Yeah, some backyard bullshit, but it paid off. And honestly, it's an innovative play. Did you see it?
It's an innovative play, and it's funny how those things work because Patrick Mahomes has a sideline interview saying Travis Kelce runs the wrong route, didn't do it correctly. Travis Kelce then flips the script on him and says, I don't know what Pat's talking about. That was the game plan right there.
Yeah.
So the tale of two stories, right? There's always 3 sides to every story. Your side, their side, and the truth.
Yes.
Which is always fun.
What makes that one deadly is they got a little zone read into an RPO. And the 2 pass options, obviously you got the receiver, but Travis being the little behind the back, like if they can do that consistently, that is maybe the toughest play to stop on short yardage.
Some might say they're a good ball club. They're a good
Some
ball club
might.
that can possibly
Let's not
win
get
3 Super
overly
Bowls in a row.
excited about preseason.
Right. Because AFC West units.
Yeah.
I think the only conference maybe stronger is the AFC South.
Agreed.
It's definitely not. It's definitely not. And for those of you joining us who are true football fans that are like, I'm turning this off because it's not educational.
Keep the voice down. Keep the voice
It's
down.
just a joke. I'm just kidding. AFC West is probably those dogs.
AFC North is going to be
North.
nuts. NFC West, in my opinion. I think you got the Rams. They'll be nice.
Yeah, San
I think
Francisco,
Seattle will be nice.
Arizona.
Yeah, who knows with Arizona? They're kind of a toss-up. But I think like 3 teams will be competing in the NFC West between the Niners, Seahawks, and the Rams.
See, I'm not as high on the Seahawks. I don't know if you saw mugshots come out. The everyone's little face shots they get every single year for the pamphlet. But Geno Smith looks like he's gone through hell this offseason.
He's still not writing back.
He's not.
That's a stressful life to live.
He's not writing back. But I just looking at the visual from 2023 now to 2024, and I see his face. It just looks like something happened. Something happened to our boy in the offseason. He might write a book on it later, but you need to look at those 2 photos, put them side by side, and tell me I'm wrong, because it is a scary deal.
McDonald being the head coach defensively, he's like, they call him like the Sean McVay on defense. Seattle will be tough on defense. The reason I like them too on offense with Geno is Jake Peets. Shout out Nebraska. Jake Peets is a passing game coordinator paired with their OC. He's coming from the college level. I think he was the head coach maybe for, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, Boston College.
BC.
But
he's a passing game coordinator that came from Boston College.
So hang on, passing game
up at all.
Jake Peets is the passing game coordinator who came from LA. So he's part of the McVay, the Shanahan, that entire web. The tree. LaFleur, all those boys. Mm-hmm. And then you got this offensive coordinator who came from, is it Boston College, Sherm?
We're checking.
I think that's
just type in Seahawks offensive coordinator.
If you were to tell me that the Seahawks offensive coordinator came from BC's a run heavy like high school ball club when it comes to their play calling.
Apparently he's crafty. And the talk of him is he hasn't been institutionalized like in the NFL. He doesn't have NFL experience. That's why you bring in a passing game coordinator from somebody from the McVay tree,
right?
To kind of pair it, because you're not like, again, like brainwashing and thinking you have to do some of the copycat things, like some of the things that happen and take place in the NFL, because obviously the hashes are more narrow. Was it Boston College?
Washington Huskies.
Washington Huskies.
Makes way more sense.
My
makes
fault.
Way more
Completely
sense.
My fault.
Now, no disrespect to Boston College, home of Luke Kuechly.
Ryan
Grubb, yes. But apparently he's got some shit to him.
Grubbin's Racing.
So,
the preseason's exciting. It's an exciting time. The most exciting clip for me on the weekend. Quarterback plays great. Behind the backs are great. But something about seeing a 300-pound plus boy turn around, start hawking down running backs who are supposed to be in that 4-4, 4-5 category, puts the Jets on in a preseason game. I believe it was the 3rd quarter. Like, you're not a starter if you're playing in the 3rd quarter. You're trying to make a team. You're trying to get after it. You're trying to make sure that the boys know, listen, I'm here to play. I'm here to put in the effort. So you can count on me on those Sundays when every rep counts.
Right.
That boy coming out there like that.
What was his? Do we know it? Do we got his name?
I don't think he has a name. I think he just goes by the Spaniard.
Yeah.
It's one of those
He's
deals.
the cat that you pull up that everybody's watching on film and they say, this is how you fucking make the team.
Exactly.
Number 94. I don't know.
Number 94. Dude, don't even say his name.
We got to give him some love. He's an underdog.
I know, but
we gotta
I also
give him
want to
some
have
love.
like the spectacle about like, who is this man?
I
Who
know,
is he?
I know.
Obviously, the name's on the back of his jersey. Obviously, he's been playing football for a long time, and people know who he is. But this is not that kind of podcast, and I want to just add a little bit.
The screen's not on.
Yeah, the screen's not on.
Screen's not
We'll
on.
press the.
A little too much excitement at the top of the episode. A lot of things
too
are
much
broken.
excitement.
Elijah Chapman,
Elijah Chapman. Rookie?
rookie from SMU.
Wow.
Dude, you gotta love that. Hungry
Good to
dogs
see
run
SMU
faster.
coming back after the death penalty, huh?
Pony up.
Pony up.
Yeah.
Is that what they do?
Hey,
That's what they do. Pony up.
SMU, are they in the ACC now?
They are.
You're
They are.
Sherm,
They're
you're
in
a
the
college
ACC.
football guy in kind of the Big 12 world, ACC, I feel like.
For the ACC, apparently it's going to be shutting down pretty soon here.
So SMU made a big boy move, but it's going they
But at what cost?
yeah.
And they also paid their own way into the ACC. They are not receiving a single dollar from the conference for, I believe, the next 3 years.
Wow.
They believed in the move.
Make
Just
it your
didn't
way.
do enough
Make
due
it your way.
diligence.
Until Florida State and Clemson jump ship to the Big 12.
Now,
TBD.
I'm playing a little catch up here on the ACC and the removing of all the groups. That's my phone going off. Is it true? Stanford is now in the ACC.
Yeah. Cal is
Cal
now
is also in the ACC.
Yeah.
That didn't make a whole lot of sense, right?
does not.
Atlantic Coast Conference. Is that what it is? Atlantic Coastal Conference.
They're calling it
missing
the
A and L.
American Coast Conference.
That plays better.
It does.
That
I think
plays
it's
better.
I think it sucks for Stanford and Cal.
Sucks
It's
for them.
similar like you got Oregon, Washington, USC in the Big 10 like having to travel to their away games. I
Yeah.
feel like is always
But the only place you run into that issue is like a Rutgers and a Maryland is when you're having those away games in the Big Ten. But if you're Stanford, all your away games are going to be
on the
on
coast.
the East
Yeah.
Coast. You know, that's essentially like Hawaii. We see Hawaii, they play like, you know, all their games, they have to travel 8 hours just to come over to the mainland to figure stuff out.
But think about how much like going to the coast affects guys in the NFL. It's not like let's just say it's marginal.
yeah.
Imagine it now being like 18 to 22 year olds.
So
You're traveling that far.
I did see a stat, and once again, like my information on these stats are always
Take them with a grain of salt.
take them with a grain of salt. Like,
Yeah.
don't take what I say and be like, this is the word of the Lord,
Yeah.
right? Teams from the West Coast that played on the East Coast in the last few years on a 7 p.m. game, like statistically win like 75% of the time because it's like a tired thing. It's a tired thing. And for
It's a
whatever
tired
reason, the
thing.
Pacific Coast,
the team traveling
the
wins.
team traveling wins. It's an
That's a
odd
good
deal,
stat.
right?
That's a good
it's a good
stat
stat. And
to
it might be
know.
a completely wrong stat because the more I'm saying it, the more I'm like, that doesn't make sense. It's kind of like Boston College.
But
having
just
an
know
offensive coordinator come to the
I'm
NFL.
putting that in the brain as like, oh, this could be an edge in gambling this year.
Oh,
This could be an edge in
So you
gambling.
think-
that's what I love about you, Will. You're always thinking about the future, baby. My man's never
How are we gonna
present.
make
He's
money?
never present. He's always thinking about what's next.
But we're also talking
That's what I love
about
about him.
we're talking about Cal and Stanford. Are we thinking Cal's going to go fly down to Miami and beat Miami?
No.
No, let me take care of that.
Yeah,
that's
maybe
that's
just
actually
a
my
little
phone.
silent.
That's my phone again.
That's a good boy move right there.
Yeah.
When somebody's phone goes off in like a team meeting, company meeting, everyone immediately should start saying, "Oh, that's my phone." Everybody should kind of check in to save whoever's phone's really going off. That's just a little tip.
I love in the team meetings that somebody's phone goes off and all the boys start coughing.
Yeah,
That's always good
Yeah,
because
that's
I think
another.
that-
That's
yeah.
another tip to add too. Just start coughing.
Right, just start coughing. This I want to say something. This is the first time I've sat in this chair. I feel so bad for our guests. This is so uncomfortable.
We need new furniture.
I just feel like this.
The boy Mitch he's been saying that we should get. Oh God, dude,
God
did you
damn
just
it.
break
Dude.
another one? Yeah. Hey, we'll be right back. We'll be right back.
Hey, listen, this is not intentional. I do apologize. This is 100% on me, but that was not intentional.
Are we back?
Yeah, we're back.
We're back.
All right, welcome back to Bussin' with the Boys. Sorry for those technical difficulties.
Mm-hmm.
Taylor's now broken 2 microphones. This one works though. You're
This one
uncomfortable in that
That's all right.
on the couch.
Sometimes you gotta have a little discomfort when you've acted the way I've acted.
Is the screen still off?
Yep, screen still
Yeah,
off.
screen.
Perfect.
Are we able to get the screen back on?
Oh yeah.
Listen, those of you joining us for the first time with Sam Morril, we swear to God, it's not usually this much of a shit show.
Yeah,
Still a shit show, but not this much.
It's the boys. It's the boys.
it's the
right?
boys.
It's
yeah,
the boys.
it's
We're just hanging out. We're just having a
Make
good
sure you
time. We're
subscribe.
having a good time with you guys.
We're headed off to Camp Barstool this week.
That's gonna be an amazing time.
Out in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin?
Yeah.
Mansion, Wisconsin.
From our understanding, it's going to be kind of set up like the movie Heavyweights.
Which phenomenal movie.
And we'll be bunking up, twin beds, no heat, no AC. Just getting grimy with the fellas.
Who's going to be the Ben Stiller of heavyweights at this camp? Who's going to be? Is Rico going?
Yeah. Oh, well, I hope so. I hope
If Rico's going, then I feel like he's going to be Ben Stiller from heavyweights.
He just runs the whole show.
Right.
You got to weigh in before, right when you get there, and then at the very end.
Congratulations, you're the fattest kid in camp.
We have like we rally all the boys at like 3 a.m. to pass out candy.
Yeah. There's there's like logs, like meat sticks inside the logs. There's so many good quotes that come into that movie.
Do it to it, Lars.
Do it to it. I'm dogging it, Pat. I'm dogging it. When they're trying to get Uncle Tony to do some abs, can't do sit-ups with your eyes closed. He's like, so many myths about the abdominal muscles. I'll be glad to put this one to rest. It's like,
what do you say?
So great.
He gets on the intercom. Lunch has been canceled due to lack of hustle.
Yeah. Deal with it. It's a great movie. Great movie.
Dude, what else? JP's wedding.
Golly.
JP's wedding. Just a hell of a weekend. Sherm, you missed a great one, bro. I can't believe you didn't make it.
We're still hurting. I did not make it. I was busy.
Yeah, you were busy.
Yeah.
Did you get the invite?
Got the invite.
Was it a last minute like, hey, I know you're new here.
I love
You're more
JP.
than welcome to come.
It was brought up by somebody else. They said, hey, are you coming? It was loud enough that JP heard it. JP kind of sits up, waits to see my reaction, and then goes, hey, if you're not doing anything, though, like, we love for you and Jill to come, blah, blah. And being a guy that has gone through a wedding like y'all have, I know the stress of it. I'm not going to put a guy through that. I'm not going to go crash it. You know, they already have, is he doing steak? Is he doing chicken? Everything's bought, paid for. These two randos come in. Now we got to grab chairs. We got to grab extra food. I'm not doing that to the guy.
There's actually, I have an opinion.
It was a buffet style setup.
Yeah.
It was a buffet style setup.
He didn't tell me that.
Open seating too, which I think when you put that on paper, you're like, this is a great idea. But there were some wrinkles that we could watch the film on this wedding and be like, there's a couple of things.
Yeah, I got a couple bones to pick.
Go ahead, pick the bones.
Well,
I'm glad you're willing to pick bones because I was really worried when I was saying that.
we can wait till
not gonna go over
JP
well.
and rediscuss it next week when JP's back from his honeymoon. But yeah, I think what you were saying, it sounds good on everybody standing and mingling, and you just want everybody in the action together. But not having the assigned seating in the tables, I think, does more harm than good. For instance,
hold on, do we want to talk about it right now?
I'll glaze over it.
Glaze, dude. Glaze away.
When we were trying to sit and have our, after we were all over the place, apps, the food was
phenomenal.
Incredible.
Finger foods. We were all over the place.
Even at sushi.
Yeah, when we walked through, it was me, Will, and Charo. We just immediately started finding the people holding the nice dishes.
Yeah.
And just
try that. Yeah, get you a couple of those.
By the third time, the guy's like, you can just have one. But you'd always hit him with the, oh, what is this? And it's like, we all know each other now.
And Taylor tries, Charo and I, we sit down at this table, again, open seating, and there's not very many tables. So you kind of got the standing tables, you got a few sitting tables. Taylor tries to come sit by us, and this lady's like, oh, hey, that's our
body
seat.
bagged me.
And Taylor just gets up, and I kind of don't know what to say. And I'm thinking in my head, like, did I take somebody's seat? It seems like there's an entire group here. When I get up to go get my water, somebody does infiltrate my seat. So it's just, sometimes people like being told what to do and where to go.
Yeah.
And also with the speeches, there's only a group that was close that could hear Sitton's dad talk and give his speech.
I didn't even hear it.
Everybody's talking. Yeah, you got everybody talking in the back. We couldn't get, you need assigned seating.
Right.
And we'll go over that a little bit more with JP when he gets here.
That was like the opposite of what glazing over something is, but
yeah, I
great
detail.
detail.
A little bit of
detail.
Yeah.
It was heavy on your heart.
It
I'm
was.
glad.
When it was happening, I was like, I can't wait to talk about this on Bussin next week.
Yeah, there were some things too I would like to talk about as well, but I'll wait.
JP was saying
example.
like, hey, please wait till I come back because he wanted to say some things too. Shout out the boy JP for the pool party. Shout out the boy JP for the pool party. That worked out. I mean, I thought it was going to be fun. Usually it's just hard to get something like that pulled off. If you're the male wanting to do something fun with the boys, usually the parents and everybody kind of shut stuff down and you got to do some formal stuff. JP had this pool party. They had the little rehearsal dinner. And then on the outside of the rehearsal dinner, massive pool, local community pool, had a little low diving board. Mitch, Jack, they're doing gainers off of it. And it started to storm. Heavy fucking rain. And it was incredible. It's like you go back to your youth and you think all the time, like, man, you want to have a pool party at nighttime. You want it to storm, but every time it storms, you're like, hey, you got to get out. There could be lightning coming. JP's dad, Paul, shout out to boy Paul. He is a legend. He's standing on the edge trying to yell like, hey, 15 minutes, lightning's going to be coming in. We're going to have to get out of the pool. And everybody's like, oh, okay, Paul. And we just have a great time the rest. We're having a splash contest. People are doing tricks. We're trying to do a splash contest, and Jack's just trying to overperform and do all these flips and spins. It's like, Jack, like, do
If you got it, flaunt it.
Yeah.
You got Simone Biles in the back.
Like, Jack, do a can opener, bro.
And
Just
I hit one.
Hit the
That
can
one big.
opener.
I
Yeah.
mean,
The relay races.
The relay races were, I mean, when you just get guys together with competition, when people are in formal attire and people are just giving it their all and truly ruining their nights for the sake of a race, you can't beat that.
And getting their hands on the one volleyball that's just being thrown around. Everybody's like, smear the queer. Dunking them, holding them underwater.
Great callback.
Man, it rained for like an hour straight, like
Yeah.
hard, and we didn't have one lightning strike. You know, you think that's gonna ruin the wedding party, and all it did was enhance it. Just
Yeah.
put it on 100. So
Yeah, we'll get JP's take on it next week.
for sure.
However, I do feel like I earned some respect in the swimming category. Jack, you as well.
I think we all did. For
Yeah.
showing up for Bussin, I think we all did really well.
I think us internally, we all had kind of like, I wonder how fast this person can swim. Because Jack, you know,
There's always that talk.
Jack
with
is like,
JP.
yo, I'm like a fish in the water, and you kind of know he's good at pretty much everything, and so you're kind
That's
of.
got hell on.
that-
Let's put a timeout on that. Let's put a timeout on that.
I
That's
said
a
it. I
great
said it.
feeling. A lot of times on this bus, we don't dish out compliments like that to
No.
each other.
Yeah,
That was a big,
And
big
for
deal.
Will to give his Instagram post to JP, and then the one thing literally says you are not athletic, and the nicest post he's ever said to him, like this is
I had to do something to
Have
mitigate.
to-
Like,
yeah,
I,
you gotta
like,
even the
I'm not
stakes.
sitting there trying to just live on my knees for JP the entire post. I got to say something.
That was a
gets
really
little
nice
chuckle.
post.
Thank
Go
you.
follow Will Compton, check it out.
Underscore
I'll have
Will
to read
Compton. But it was an awesome time.
Yeah.
But Jack, yeah, there was so we did 2 relay races, and JP's like, Will, you got to start it off because he started too. JP photo finish apparently beat me, which is all I needed because the way he talks is like, I thought you
Yeah.
would have killed me.
Right.
And at the very end, you just did a 2-lap. What is it? How many meters was
It was
that?
50 meters, so
50
down
meters.
and
So
back.
down and back. There's 4 people, the 4 best. Jack was one of them. Against these other cats who actually swam, I believe, growing up,
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
like
And
on a team.
it was
And
tough,
Jack, he fell apart in the last 15 meters.
for
But
sure,
Jack was like,
gassed out.
Jack was competing.
Really.
And then for the next hour, I've never had worse heartburn in my entire life.
Really.
Because I just eaten some food and we were drinking beers, and then you're like, these guys are moving, and you don't want to just be the guy who's half-assing it, and they're like, oh,
When
see
you
what
get
kinda,
any competition going,
Yeah,
it's,
you got to put it all out there, and we're all sitting there for the next 10 minutes after the race is over, just like,
dude, I had a headache the rest of the night.
I did
Swimming
too.
is a
It was
crazy
hard to
endurance
bounce
thing.
back.
It breaks my heart that I wasn't a part of that. I wish I could have been so bad. Now, did you talk to Jack about the thing we talked about at the wedding?
Yeah, I brought it up.
Did you?
I brought it up. Taylor came up to me the day of the wedding and saw that I posted.
I kind of want to tell it because I feel like I don't know how you're going to tell it.
I'm just gonna say what I posted.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I took a clip of the of the storm happening with the pool. Cat catches the ball off the diving board. Like the scene is just perfect, and it's the day you dream about. Again, like as a kid, getting to swim in those type of elements. And I post on basically all my channels. Don't go to my TikTok. That did not do very well. But best night of all time. Just being hype, living in the moment.
Right.
Next day at the wedding, Taylor comes up to me afterwards and is like, "Hey, I saw your post. I think it was directed at me."
I didn't say it
To where
necessarily
I'm like, "Hey,
that.
brother, you know, you're
I
not
said
that
Jack and I were
important."
talking, and I was like, I feel like that post was a little towards me because the conversation we had in the last episode for the tier ones, you know this, the boys were razzing me, saying I wasn't going to make it because I wasn't going to be able to make it, and
Oh,
you guys were talking about how great the day was going to be. So,
but
with
I
that
think
in
you were
my
able
head,
to make it.
it would have been a photo finish. It would have been
Just
a photo
like that
finish.
race.
It would have been a photo finish.
Come on,
It would have been a photo finish.
could you have made it?
Probably. I was tired, man.
You landed. I thought you were surprising me because you landed around like 1 or 1:30 at BNA. Flight takes off to Greenville at 3:30.
Right.
I thought Taylor was doing the old bait and switch. The boy's known for a great surprise every now
I
and then.
do enjoy surprises.
And so when I saw I had a missed call from my call, I'm like, "Hey, are you sitting at D2?" He's like, "Oh no, I'm driving home." I was like, "Oh, I thought for sure you were gonna get on this flight."
Yeah. The thing that was difficult for me is my wife was in Canada with her grandfather, Grandpa Wynn, who is a
Shout out
huge
Grandpa
fan
Wynn.
of Will Compton. And Grandpa Wynn he's life, right? You get older, you start wanting more time with family, and he goes back home every single year to the East Coast of Canada where he's from and enjoys like fishing and being with his old friends and seeing his old stomping grounds. And he goes with my mother-in-law, Miss Tana, who's a queen. And he kept giving hints to Talon saying like, hey, it would be great if the kids came, what if the kids came? It'd be awesome. So Talon's like surprising them. I dropped them off Wednesday, but they get back at 10 a.m. Sunday. So with the direct flights and how that process worked, I never look at connecting flights and think I'm going to get on that flight. I only look at the directs. And I think there was like the only direct was like 10 o'clock and then a 3:50 from that area.
From Nashville to Greenville, it was
3:30.
3:30. And then the flight back was like 10 a.m., land at 10:30.
Right. So I was like, I won't be able to pick them up, all that different stuff. And so I was like, I'll just drive. I'll drive Saturday. So I landed from Arizona on Friday, slept, woke up in the morning, drove to the wedding, hung out at the wedding for 4 or 5 hours.
3.
Including the ceremony.
4.
Went there and supporting JP and then drove home that night so I could pick up my girls in the morning. And now I get home around 12:45 a.m. and I get a call from Talon at 7 a.m. saying flight's been canceled because of weather in Toronto, all these different things. Now, before we got in the bus, she was just telling me their flight got delayed again. They're going to miss their connection, so she might have to fly to West Coast Canada now. It's a big ordeal. But all in the name of family. It was all in the name of family. Yeah. Could I have handled it better? Yeah, but I think we all know with my organization, like, it's just who I am at this point.
Yeah, I think.
And why fix your problems when you can just accept who you are?
Will Compton deserves some flowers. There was, and we'll leave him unnamed, a person who's supposed to be driving the getaway car after the reception. Said man could not do it. Will Compton rose to the occasion, stopped drinking.
That was huge.
He's drinking limits. He was in there, and he was also having a good fucking time with water in the class, and then he's out there driving. What I thought was one of the coolest parts, it was JP's truck that he grew up driving in high school. And Will Compton drives JP and sitting off to, go seal the deal on a beautiful marriage. And I think that was really big of you.
That was a bro move. That was a big time move by you.
And then the second lap back around, y'all hit the block and came back just hitting the horn. We're like,
funny about that, I missed the turn.
We were wondering if you missed the turn or you were just going to keep hitting laps.
I hit a turn too early because JP pulled out his phone and he was filming, and they're like, oh, we got to guess. I'm sitting there trying to remember, like, where am I supposed to go? Because I didn't know the name of the hotel or anything. This lady was like, hey, go through the first stoplight. You'll make a right on the second one. Go down. It'll be right there on your right. I end up turning on the first stoplight, and they're like, oh, it's all good. We'll make our way back around. I'm like, we got to drive back through where everybody is. He's like, yeah. I was like, this will be hilarious. So I'm just like laying on the horn, and everybody's just getting hype.
That was perfect.
It was all time. It was all time.
Dude, also shout out Sitton. Seemed like there's it's so easy to be a bridezilla in those types of situations. She seemed calm, cool, collected the entire time. It seemed like they really took a moment and embraced the entire situation, which is awesome.
And having Krabby Patty served at the end of the night. Again, some of the things that was all JP. When you talk about like bridezilla and everything else, a lot of times some of those things can just get, hey, go sit in the corner, stay quiet. Yeah.
Me and my mom will handle this. Yeah. Usually show up on game day.
Yeah.
That type of deal.
That video's hilarious. That
Which one?
Driving the truck.
Oh yeah. That's I'm turning. That's me turning way too early.
And you just being in the single cab truck too.
And as I'm dropping them off, I'm like, hey, I don't want to like call out the elephant in the room here, but I was like, I'm gonna be the last one you see before you guys, We kind of awkwardly laughed. I'm like, go have a good time.
Get out of here.
Yeah, go have a good time. Whoa.
But yeah. Shout out to the
deep throat and croissant.
Shout out to Hubbies, man.
Shout out to Hubbies
and the Furmans,
dude. The Furmans,
they rip.
Yeah, bro.
You're probably wondering why is that name so familiar? Furman University. That's why it's so easy to remember.
Sid went to Clemson, which I thought that's how I knew everything I needed to know about Sid when she chose to go to Clemson instead of Furman.
Yeah,
I mean, she could have had everything.
Yeah,
and shows JP still honing in tunnel vision on that's who he wants to be.
There's a lot of good things about the Siddons and the Furmans that we could sit here. I mean, the Siddons and the Furmans, the Furmans and the Hubbies. We could talk all day about them. They're so easy to celebrate and.
The guy,
awesome parents, awesome families.
Awesome.
The guy who did the wedding did an amazing job of like telling the story of JP, like essentially tracking down Sitton for 12 years. Crazy.
It's ultimately a story of nice guys can finish first.
Yes. And that's exactly what JP is.
Yeah. A very quality
just a individual. Good human being.
Great.
And that's what
he's somebody you want, like I put in my post, like I would want my daughter to marry somebody like that with a little bit more athletic ability. But I saw somebody say like, "Oh, you need to have a few more daughters so I can say the same about whenever you guys get married." And I'm thinking, not Jack.
When I was reading that, I go, for some reason this feels personal.
Like Taylor seen the post, and you're like, I feel like this.
It's easy, man. It's easy. Will does a great job of throwing like little subtle shots throughout the day on his social media.
That's why he's the best, though. That's why he's in the chair.
That's why
You're
he's
on
in the
couch.
chair, and I'm on the couch. There's no question about it. No question. If
Jack,
Will's microphone
Like,
broke,
talk about
I
me,
would
right?
I would get on the couch.
I'm just Taylor Jr.
Yeah.
This definitely was about me, right?
Because it's easy to take it personal. You think to yourself the conversation we had in Detroit where it was like Win
Yeah.
or Weston and Rue, and he wasn't top dog on that, which only in my head's like you think.
I
because of parenting.
said I would be excited, but also like it's like Jack, like you guys both in your later years. I'm thinking this is more of the quality of that you want your daughter to marry.
Oh,
Like if
Good save. Great save by Will right there. Phenomenal. Because he just made it all better.
professional.
Yeah, he made it because there was a piece of us that was kind of hurting a little bit. Now I'm like, yeah, you know what? He's
And-
all right.
and
He's
then
all
it's
right.
just
He's
like
all
he's
right
right.
guy.
He's
if
right.
you go on Mitch, you're like, you can
Oh, you see that? 4 hours. I made it 4 hours.
dog. Hey, the people spotlighting you on your suit, Mitch. That shit was hilarious.
Dog.
But if like
Court
Mitch,
case.
if Mitch walks through your door, you're like, you're happy that they're happy, but you're like,
That's crazy.
man's a little dumb.
Dad, what'd you think?
I mean,
I'm fucking with you,
it's
Mitch.
fun though. I'm just here to be. I'm the punching bag of the group, and I'll say some random shit every once in a while that'll just be like, where did that even come from? But it just keeps you on your toes.
Have you met Bloss before the other day?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Taylor.
That's essentially you, man. You're the new Bloss.
Oh yeah, I know that.
I miss Bloss every day.
How long did you work with Bloss?
I worked for Blast for a year.
Oh, really? CT ESPN, man.
Yeah, bro.
Did you honestly thought I never met Blast?
Yeah. No, 100% sat
Oh,
here.
that
And I
was
was like,
genuine.
I wonder if there was overlap.
Yeah.
Fun fact, there was overlap for a year. This podcast has gotten really downhill since the beginning part of this podcast, hasn't it?
Well,
That's all right.
Should we get to?
Should we get to judgment? Anything else we have to touch before? I don't think so. How
No.
many times has JP nutted? We can go ahead and
Do we want to read an
Throw
ad
that
real
one
quick?
out.
Should we read an ad? We'll read an ad and then we'll do
Yeah.
Jack's on
I
it.
will say, when I was at the wedding, I started getting notifications on Twitter out of nowhere, and I was like, "What's going on?" The Titans apparently played the OG Pain Train video this week. at the
Really?
preseason
no
game.
way.
And I'm not there, but my niece got to go to her first Titans game today, so I like to think I was there in spirit. She was representing
That's
me and
huge.
family,
That's you making a difference.
I-
That's your voice being
I'm really
heard.
excited for week 2 of the NFL regular season to see it in full force, and then hopefully we have this kind of coming to God moment where I'm hugging all the people around me, and they're like, "Who the fuck are you? Like, sit
Yeah.
down. You're blocking the view."
What's the ad read?
We got a little Mountain Dew action.
Mountain Dew?
Do the do.
Come on.
Mountain Dew.
Oh. You know what we all need to get more of? Off of our ass.
No doubt.
With bold flavors and refreshing citrus kick, Mountain Dew will get you off your ass and have you feeling like you're on an actual mountain. A mountain where the weather is always perfect, your friends are ready to hang, and a day of epic proportions awaits. Listen, go up for a tad. I know you got your original, you got your Baja Blast, you got your Cold Red, you got your Voltage. I hope it's still kicking strong, but growing up, my favorite soda, my grandparents always had it sitting. It was in the gold can. It was caffeine-free Mountain Dew. For some reason, I'm stoked. I'm stoked that they're part of the
Yeah,
boys.
I
I'm stoked
love
that they're
that.
part of the boys.
Not a big soda kid growing up, but when a Mountain Dew was around, that thing was getting throated in a hurry. Those were the best, man.
What type-
Just do the Dew. I love the original. I love the Code Red, but there was something about going to T-Bell and getting the Baja Blast that it was like, God. It's like getting ice cream it's like getting dessert at the end of a nice meal.
Dude,
It's like, dude, let me get this Baja Blast. Because at this point in my life that I'm thinking about right now, it was the generation of suicides where you hit every single one. And I would do that at every fast food establishment I went to, but I would not do it when I went to T-Bell because that Baja Blast was just too good. It had to sit alone. That's how good Mountain Dew is.
I remember just being in the driveway playing basketball in the driveway. You know, you're playing 21, knock, all the different games, right, with the boys. And I had to leave, and I just remember putting literally 4 caffeine-free Mountain Dews like in my pockets.
Come on, kid. And that's gold
Yeah.
at that age. That is treasure. That's what the Pirates of the Caribbean were looking for, is Mountain Dew in a treasure chest.
The mountain is calling. You should answer. Grab your friends. Grab an ice cold Mountain Dew wherever refreshing beverages are sold, and do the do.
Did it feel cool saying that?
Yeah.
It felt cool saying that.
Dude,
didn't
Mountain
it?
Dew.
I know. That's so cool that Mountain Dew is a part of this podcast.
Mountain Dew, bro.
In a year, I'll be like, is Mountain Dew
All right.
new?
Hey,
It's time.
Jack McPherson, the Chevy Silverado, tweeting a photo of Rich Eisen every day for 790.
790 was the
790.
789 was technically the end.
789 days. So,
Do you want me to grab it?
yeah, we got the confidential audit. We got a folder. So, just to give a little context, at the start and birth of this thing, like you heard last week on the episode, Jack ultimately had to tweet a photo of Rich Eisen every day until he came on the bus. Every day.
Every
and
single
not
day.
miss a day. Not miss a day.
Not
the
miss
date
one.
had to be consistent. He could not miss a day. However, we negotiated a little bit. He got it up. The over-under was 3.5 last week, or 3, whatever it was.
It was the line was set at 3.5, given by Rich Eisen, who was a great individual, who was rooting for Jack. We're all rooting for Jack.
Said
we
he
all
needed some
want
grace,
Jack to
a
have the
grace
Chevy
period.
Silverado. Because 789 days is a lot of time. That's a
lot
lot
of
of
time.
time. It's a lot of days to consistently be posting about one man. It takes 21 days to make a habit, but that's a long time. And so we gave the grace period. The audit has taken place. It's been verified.
Last week, our engineers dove in.
Been verified by myself, by Will Compton, and the man himself, Rich Eisen.
Fine-tooth comb.
Only 3 individuals who know the result of this audit. And the question remains, does Jack McPherson receive a Chevy Silverado? I
Folder,
have that
please.
information in this folder. Hey, hold on. Where's your heart rate at right now? Check your watch.
It's pumping. It's at 94.
94. That's not a resting heart rate. That's not a resting heart
I'm
rate.
nervous.
300,000 miles on his vehicle that sits outside in the parking lot right now. Running on fumes. Hoping to God to be reimbursed with a Chevy Silverado, 8 cameras with 14 different views.
Hey, it's hard holding this. Can I just open it up?
Open it up.
Where's the paper?
It's not in there.
No, it's not in there. It's not in there.
My fault.
It's not in there.
That's not a bit, by the way.
You put it in your pocket?
Yeah, it's right here. Does Jack McPherson receive a Chevy
Jack, how are
Silverado?
you feeling right now?
My heart. You said your heart rate's 90. Mine's got to be like 130 right now.
How many do you think you missed?
Did you go back?
That's all we
I'm
need.
going
Hey, we
back.
just needed the grin. We needed the grin.
I think I missed probably 3.
Mitch, how many do you think he missed? Hey,
Hand the
number
microphone,
one,
hand the
I'm
microphone.
glad. It's so refreshing to hear you just smile and be like, I think I missed.
Because Jack,
You were.
I tried so hard to ask you, like, you didn't miss one. You stood 10 toes down.
Mitch, how many do you think he missed?
I know how back Jack wanted it, but I want to say maybe 5.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also, that's 2.5 years. Like 5 is like Rich said, that's an acceptable amount in my opinion.
Yeah.
Sherm, what are you going with?
I actually know how many it is. I had some Oppenheimers, some ops in my DM saying, "Hey, your boy, look at your boy."
Oh, you
Look at
had
your boy."
some.
I had it and
They were in all of ours.
and I ate it. I sat on it.
They were in all of ours.
I said, people out here, no one wants to see anybody succeed. It's messed up. And so I ate it. I went to Jack. I said, hey, this is what they're saying. And he said, fuck him. I said, fuck him.
So how many do you think based on your DMs?
7 or 8.
Hold on. Now, Mitch said 5 is acceptable, even though the line
7
was...
or 8 is so acceptable.
You think so?
27
So
is
even if it's 7 or 8,
27 is acceptable. We're talking about 2 years plus.
you're saying 20 is acceptable.
blood,
Hey,
sweat,
time out.
tears. This is a sponsor. You're gonna have the boy riding in a Chevy. A guy like me that's in a Tahoe. I know what it's like to be in a Chevy.
You're in a nice Chevy Tahoe.
It's
Let's
a
not get it
beautiful
twisted.
Chevy Tahoe. This
Fair
guy
enough.
deserves
Let's
a
not get it twisted.
ZR2.
You basically got yeah. I was gonna say you got the ZR2 or the Z71.
Oh, dude, I have.
You
the
got the Z
Z71.
series. You got a nice
yeah.
one.
And it's fabulous. You know what that does for my job performance here when I get to pull up every single day in a Chevy? I go, thank God I'm working for the boys. Thank God I'm in a Chevy.
So can I ask you,
You want to
Dependable.
take that from him?
Reliable.
gritty?
Consistent.
Golly.
Can I ask you a question before he opens this up? Or more, this is more a question for Jack.
Everybody at home just on the edge of their seat.
If we were sitting there with Rich and you said, I didn't miss one, and you had an idea in your mind that you've maybe missed more than one, and we end up at 3.5, and now your boys are back here saying 5 is acceptable and 20 is acceptable,
27 is acceptable in my eyes.
even though a line has been drawn in the sand of 3.5.
I'm not gonna talk back to Rich. I mean,
I think Rich Eisen wants this for him the most. And I think if we had Rich on this bus right now, if he's available to call, and we say, y'all spoke to him earlier today.
I have a
right?
video. I have a video from Rich right now
Oh, gosh.
discussing the results with Jack McPherson.
All right, here we go.
Have you seen the video?
No, I have not watched the video. I thought it could all be.
Before it's all said and done, I would like to give my one final piece on it.
Closing statement.
Closing statement. Though maybe there had been a day or two missed, I will say it has been an absolute blast doing this to over 2.5 years, to get someone on and to create all of this noise around it and to have the public backing of our fans to be riding with me. It's cool. So whether there is a Chevy Silverado or not, it truly has been an honor serving with you guys. So thank you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity in this moment. So I do appreciate it. It's been really fun, and be on the lookout for possibly a day one tweeting somebody else coming this week. Just put your subscribe, drop in the comments on YouTube who we should tweet at. But yeah, thank you guys. No bullshit. It's been really fun. Thanks for giving me, an opportunity to be on the platform and have a little fun. So thank you guys.
Dude, seriously, that means the world. You did not get it. Very good closing statement.
And
Tears coming to my eye.
And I still feel the same way.
And here's the gun to your head.
Yeah.
Oh, there's 23.
So-
23, and that's the Jordan year.
What we see right now,
I said 27.
I know. Thanks for giving me at least.
I got you.
23, dating back to
We were only able to get back to 107 days. So on day 107 was when I was allowed to start the count. So there's still 107 days unaccounted for based on the memory of Twitter.
Do you know what day was the first day missed from 107?
I do.
Because I
we have
remember
photos, yeah.
I had.
Do you want to go through this now?
We might as well.
We can.
I mean, it's out there. And listen, there's rumors of a consolation prize.
Oh,
There's rumors.
yeah. Dude, hope's a dangerous drug that I'll tap
Hope is a
into
dangerous drug,
every
and I want to
day.
feed it. I want to keep
Yeah.
injecting it
Come
into
on.
you. Because we need you working.
I fucking quit.
Okay, first miss on September 16th, 2022. You said day 113 of tweeting a photo of Rich Eisen until he comes on the podcast. On September 18th, 2022, you said day 14.
Wait, so it was
Day
that
114.
Huh?
Day 114.
Day 114. Sorry, day 114.
I
Yes.
can't remember exactly, but I do remember the first day that I woke up and had missed it, and I called my dad, and I was panicking. I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm fucked, dude. And he's like, calm down, man, calm down. He's like, who knows? He's like, just be honest with him. And I was like, fuck that, man. You can't. I was like, I don't know what to do.
Literally kept it all the way till the Rich show. He's like, didn't miss one.
You
Yeah.
got to stand strong.
You gotta stand strong, and you just keep fighting for it. I had a few guys too. They tweet me. I'm not even gonna give them the appropriate shout out for my demise, but they'd like DM me and they're like, "We know." And I'm like, "Oh shit," no.
We know.
The comments, look, you're going to have people fighting. You're still going to have people
Well,
fighting.
I've already seen some today. They said if there's no truck, it's hashtag cancel Bussin.
People are ready to unsubscribe.
So go ahead, boys, fire that up.
Now,
But
do you want to hear the
ultimately,
rest of them?
Do not come at my guys either, guys. This isn't I knew what was going on. All
Definitely
the
consolation
opportunities
prize so
out
bad.
there. Do not cancel Bussin. Cancel Bussin. Don't do it. It's not worth it. We're gonna fight for a brighter tomorrow. So guys, keep doing it. Don't do this. I swear, it's not worth it. Keep doing it.
Do you want to hear the rest of them, or you want?
I feel like at this
It's
point,
ultimately the same kind of theme. It's
Yeah.
you kept the days consistent, but if you miss a day, it would jump too.
right. That yeah.
Well, no. The first one, he went from 113, skipped a day, and then went to 114. In October the same year, he went 134, skipped a day, and then went 136. 135.
So he tried
was
a couple
unaccounted
different-
for.
yeah, you
couple
gotta
different
see what
tactics.
works.
Yeah.
Gotta see what works.
So, which means the 789 days is also in question.
So 788.
The days you missed, what do you chalk it up as you're like disappointed that, like, what was going on? Was it a weekend or
No, it
weekends?
typically wasn't weekend. It would either be. I think I don't remember where I said it, but like you have good days, you have bad days, and you have days where it's going to shit. So sometimes it'd just be a great day, and then you'd wake up the next day and you're like, how could I have even forgot that? A lot of times it would be like, it'd be in the queue for me or in my drafts, and I had started it, and then maybe something comes up, a phone call, I'm
And
driving.
your brain almost thinks you did it.
Yeah, and then your brain kind of registers that you did it, and then you go back the next day, and then, panic ensues, and you're just like, what have you done? It's like, your kids are going to starve. My
Future kids.
my future kids.
Sherm, is this a consolation prize idea that you just pulled up?
That'd be sick, dude. It's a 1947 Chevy Silverado go-kart.
That's sick.
Dude, you're walking away with something.
Something. September, the date that I said, what was that?
September 14th
16th
to
and
16th.
18th. The day you missed, a Saturday.
Yeah.
October,
Is there a theme here? Is it weekends?
Tennessee Vols.
a weekend, 10/8/22 and 10/10/22. The day you missed was a Sunday. Titans game. That was also a home Titans game.
And you're going to punish him for loving football?
Listen, hey,
The Ring of Honor, maybe I can't hold that flag for you anymore.
I'll say this. We don't want to punish him.
No.
And
it's not.
you guys aren't.
Do you
It's
want
not
us
a
to...
punishment.
It feels like a punishment.
How, what? Why?
23 misses. Sherm.
The line
What?
was set at 3.5.
You heard me. I said 27.
I know, but you also knew the number.
I
You knew the
understand
number.
that. But Sherm, go.
So when you said 27, I thought to myself, he knows exactly.
Oh, the guy fucking loves football, and he forgot to tweet. 'cause
Sure.
he's at a football game.
I get it.
Fully understand that. Fully understand that.
It feels like a punishment. This is messed up.
I know it does, and trust me. I like Taylor. I didn't even want to give. I was like, dude, give him a truck. Like, what are you talking about? He's like, bro, if he does it all the days in a row, like we got to do something.
Be great for the brand.
Could
Yeah,
you
be
get
great
him
for
a
the brand.
go-kart, like a Chevy go-kart? That'd
We,
be
Will
sick.
and I will talk about a consolation prize. We will talk about that. Consolation prize or
Consolation.
Consolation.
But ultimately, it's like
Constellations.
when you buy in,
Consolation.
and
the stars will tell us whether or not he should get a consolation prize.
and
Love
you
it.
go into a deal that's clear cut. These are the parameters, and it wasn't miss a day, and then it gets negotiated up to a few days. Like, let's just even say it was more. But even if when you miss that mark, like, what do you want us to do? Just pretend like it doesn't happen and not honor our side of the standard? It's like the standard was set. You either give a reason or you get the result.
I just feel like you're kind of rubbing his face in it right now. Yeah, he had an accident in the house. We get it. But
He had
you're rubbing his
23
face. You're rubbing his face.
He had
in it.
23 accidents. 23 accidents.
And I understand. I know there's a lot of people beating down the doors right now saying, give Jack his Chevy Silverado. He earned it. 23 days is nothing.
Yeah,
But the world we come from, it's result based.
it's perfection.
Perfection. If I had a child, I do have two. If my children wanted something, I said, if you do these things, you can have the thing you want. And they did most of those things. What kind of parent would I be if I still gave them that? I'm teaching them a bad lesson.
Or just in a performance-based world that we live in, like you missed 23 plays, you're cut, bro. There ain't nobody vying for you. They're saying you suck. Get this mother good. Get him off my team. He should never be on it again.
Let's turn that temperature down just a little bit.
Well, what do we?
That was a rub. in the
No,
face.
yeah. That's.
I
Will's having flashbacks. He's just having
Sorry,
flashbacks.
yeah. I'm sitting there. I'm.
Will's thinking he's in Nebraska right now,
Yeah,
and his coach is going off on him. That had nothing to do with Jack.
Like, we had 28 missed tackles against Texas the year after the 1 second game, and we just got obliterated in meetings. It wasn't, hey, if you miss a few, we should still go back and win the game, or you should get this, you should get that. You're trying to, what example are we trying to set?
And I agree with y'all. I do. 23 It's excessive. And it, you know, I truly let myself down and I let the fans down. So this is just a moment in time where it'll motivate me for the next season of life and the next career I choose to dive into after.
Everybody in the comments is going to be like when they're laying the jerseys out for Rudy. Like, no, we're not showing up.
So I have a video from Rich.
Okay.
Yeah,
I can
let's
play
the
it for you
video.
now, and then we can just put the video on for the podcast.
Yeah, because we got to hear what Rich says. It was one of those things when all the screenshots came in, I was like, fuck.
I know. And literally, it was done the afternoon after the Rich podcast.
I had a feeling.
And I figured it out somehow. Like, I figured out technology. So here's Rich. Do you want to see the video?
You want me to just hold it right here?
Yeah.
So I'm sitting here on my set getting ready to do my show. Heard some disturbing news from Nashville, Tennessee. So I gotta take my boy Jack on a walk. Oh man. You missed some days, Jack. That's what Taylor told me. He sent me some evidence. I was taking a stand for 780 days. Not just for my own self, but on behalf of all shows on a bus that should have a motor that for whatever reason doesn't. And also for you, Jack. I had visions of seeing you driving off into the beautiful Nashville sunset in your gorgeous new Chevy Silverado. And you missed more than 3 days. Taylor sent me all these texts of what I hope are timestamp issues. Somehow, some way, multiple times. The dates are off. Your phone was off. You had it scheduled. Something. There's got to be something, Jack. Dig deep. Dig deep into your memory banks. Thoughts and prayers for you, Jack. Similar to the thoughts and prayers that I have for my awesome new Ralph Lauren stone white pants that I wore. And for something unexplainable, the Bussin couch leaked all over the pants. What the hell was RFK Jr.? What did he leave there? Any bear cub blood or something? What the hell is this? The pants are ruined, but this is not about me or my pants. It's about you, Jack, and your work ethic. And I'm hoping there's gotta be something. And that you will get your Chevy Silverado somehow, some way. Rooting for you.
Man, it's like a disapproving father. Just like, I'm disappointed.
Can
Not
I
even
ask a
mad.
question?
Of course.
Sure, I'm just putting go-karts, Chevy go-karts up on the screen.
Yeah. Why not at the top of every week schedule out each post? I know you want to throw yourself in the suck. I'm sure it's something like that, being gritty like the Chevy. But when you're like going through and thinking about scheduling out posts, like whether it's a few days at a time, a week at a time, a month at a time, it almost seems like you could have had that work in your favor a little bit.
I mean, great question. What I answer is, I don't know. Yeah.
And to what I answer, it doesn't matter, falls short.
Yeah. At this point, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I scheduled them or if I didn't. 23 days, missed it, and it's over. It's over.
Hey, little hope.
Little hope.
There's a little hope.
Spoon feed me. But yeah, I feel like I let Rich down most of all because he went to bat for me.
And he
really
still was
did.
even after the bus.
Yeah.
And we're like, Rich, bro, if we find multiple, like more, like even like outside of 10, you know what I mean? Because he's like, hey, you guys got to give him more of a grace period.
I honestly thought it was going to be like 7 days. So 23, yeah, it hurts. It's like, who am I? Am I even a man at this point? Can I go home and look my kids in the eyes?
You're a man. Maybe there's a Chevy dealership in the greater Nashville area that's willing to say you earned it. They're willing to walk up and say, listen, Jack, we know you missed 23 days, but here's one anyway.
I mean, that'd be huge. I don't know if this is just conversation happening.
No, it's just conversation.
Okay.
I'm not
It's
gonna
just spoon feeding.
I'm not. I'm just hoping that some Chevy dealership sees this clip.
Yeah,
And they're like, we gotta do.
Mr.
We gotta,
Chevrolet himself sees this clip.
Mr.
Yeah.
Chevrolet.
Yeah, and they send the 1946 go kart. You know,
And you're on the
rebuild
next Chevy
engine.
commercial.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're like, who's
This
this?
could be the
guy?
best thing that ever happened to you.
Yeah.
Charlie Chevrolet.
Hey, you will grow from this.
100%. A lot of motivation going in the gym today too, where it's like there is no excuse today.
Yeah.
Just
Gotta
gotta
have
be
it.
better.
The best lessons are the hardest ones, man.
GTHI.
But I can circle back to my closing statement earlier. It truly was a blast doing this. All the fun content. From this I got to go on TV on Rich Eisen's show, which wouldn't have happened without this. Got to meet Rich, got to be around some cool people. Really understand how to search on Google now more than ever. So
We love you, Jack.
I love you guys. Love you guys.
Enjoy the next chapter, man. That's what we should do. Just pretend like, obviously, people will be listening to the episode, but just pretend like today was your last day.
It's over. I'll just get a box. Start packing things up.
Should we get to Sam Morril?
Let's get to Sam Morril.
I know it's a low note. The energy was high at the start. I hope
Real
you guys are
roller coaster of a
stuck around.
podcast
Maybe the biggest Peaks and Valley pod intro
Yeah.
of
we've
all
ever
time.
had.
Of all time.
Without further ado, this was an incredible guest, by the way.
It was. Yeah.
Sam was all
Sam
time.
was awesome.
Sam was all time, and his little clip at that news station,
Good morning,
Phenomenal.
Baltimore.
hilarious, bro. If you guys haven't checked out a special, it is out, Amazon Prime, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's also been on. I'm sure I know we have a bigger audience than Rogan, but I know he's been on Rogan as well a couple times. But check out the boy. Sam is he's one of a kind. Watch Sam Morril, You've Changed, on Prime Video.
Let's get into the episode.
Cancel Bussin.
Winner of this episode to bring you sport clips. Guys, when it comes to getting your hair cut, don't go anywhere. Visit the specialists who live and breathe men's hair. At Sport Clips Haircut, stylists undergo special training to be expert in men's hair and making them masters of mullets, finessers of fades, and the understudies of the undercut. It's easy to have confidence in your look when you're in the hands of a pro. Just another way Sport Clips helps keep your head and your hair in the game. Sport Clips, it's a game changer. Let's get back to the episode.
Sale for a couple grand.
This
$2
is
grand.
fucking
It doesn't run, but
No,
Yeah, but this
not
is
even a
fucking
driver's
great.
chair.
yeah.
Yeah, this thing's awesome. This thing apparently used to. It's crazy too because Nashville's like a super small. It's a city, but it's like kind of like a town where everyone knows each other. And people would reach out to us when we started this, like, "Oh, my buddy used to own that," and then somebody else, "Oh, my uncle used to own that." And they used to travel all over, it's like different NASCAR races and stuff like
Tailgating,
that.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fucking cool.
Because it used to, before it got the Twisted Tea rap, it was the Earnhardt Jr. 8 and all that. It
Oh
was
shit.
Yeah. The Dale
Damn.
Earnhardt 8. I miss it. But we love Twisted Tea.
Are you
Well,
guys
yeah,
are you guys
but-
big NASCAR guys?
No.
I don't know shit about everyone's into Formula One now. I'm seeing like
It's because of that Netflix show.
That Netflix show.
Yeah.
Netflix really just makes everything popular.
I know.
So whatever Netflix
except
has.
for me.
Yeah.
Hey,
So anyway, how we doing today, folks?
Yeah. Sam? It's Morril, right?
Yeah.
Sam Morril.
Yeah.
Actor. He was on The Joker.
I played a comedian, so I don't call myself an actor.
I mean,
Dude,
you're on
go-
camera.
People
you're an
always
actor.
like, you're an actor. I'm like, am I?
Would you ever want to do acting like that? You want to get in the film industry?
Only in shit that I wrote. I'm not. I wouldn't want to audition. I think that's like that would make my brain melt. I think.
Really?
It just seems all. They would when you're like a young comic, they send you. They're like audition for this 3 cam as like the wacky neighbor, and I'm just like, listen to this morose energy. What kind of fucking neighbor am I gonna be? You know, I don't have range. I'd be like me. You know, that's it.
But some people make a good living off just being them.
That's true.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Love Ryan
I
Reynolds.
mean,
We're
he's
big fans of
1%
Ryan.
of 1%, but yeah.
Vince
Yeah.
Vaughn. I guess Vince Vaughn does some. He's done some different
He's
things.
done some
before.
weird. He
Yeah.
played Norman Bates, dude. He's played
The
different
Lost
dudes.
World.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
I wondered, like, in that world, if the actors that kind of just play themselves like Vince did for so long, if the other actors talk shit, like they get in small groups. They're like, yeah, Vince really can only just do the frat boy thing. And there's like a fight to see if you have more range or not.
Yeah, but the dudes
Leave
talking
their
shit are
haters.
like Kevin Spacey, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
Vince Vaughn's
Then
like,
all
"You
of a
hear what
sudden-
this guy fucking does?
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
a great actor, but at what cost?
At
You
what
know?
cost? At what cost, dude?
Are you? Is one of your passions like writing in film?
I like writing. I like writing jokes, and I like. I've written some stuff. I mean, my friend Mark Norman and I wrote a movie, so like maybe someday we'll make that. We're working on that, and then I'm working on a TV show that, I mean, if it goes, cool. But I mean, stand up is my favorite. You know.
What made you find like the love for writing? We'll get into stand up and the movies and all that, but like, how did you put pen to paper and be like, yo, this is something that actually interests me?
Honestly, I was a freshman at Tulane University in New Orleans, and I'd been on stage a few times, but Katrina just hit. So when I went back, there were no open mics. Like everything was kind of shut down still. And I was just like, well, I could just write, you know? So I just fucking made Katrina about me. But do you know who really suffered is me not getting enough open mic stage.
No doubt.
But honestly, I was like, well, I'm writing more than I'm getting on stage. I think that made me like a writer first and a performer second, you know?
It does seem like comedians are getting more in that lane of film, like Shane coming out, them dudes doing tires.
Shane's such a great comic actor too. I mean, he's like, you know, you saw it in those sketches. I think of that Trump speed dating sketch. I was like, when that came out, I was texting him like, this is like one of the funniest things I've seen.
And it makes you wonder what SNL would have been with him if they would have ever kept him on. If
He
they would
was
have let him get away
inevitable.
with that stuff.
He would have broke either way. He would have broke either mainstream or he would have done the kind of back road he did into the. He's mainstream regardless, you know.
Do you think it worked out better for him being able to do it the back way?
It's a cool story.
Yeah.
For sure.
And when he does do the funny resume about like he's technically a decorated veteran because he went to West Point.
Yeah.
And he technically worked for SNL. It's like, you know, he's kind of got a sick little deal.
And a
I
college
know.
football player.
Yeah. College football player.
He's got
for-
everything, man. And he is like, he's a legit. He would have been great on SNL, and he's kind of what they needed. I think they realize they fucked up and
By
they had
bringing
him
it back, yeah.
Yeah.
But like, so you and Mark writing a movie, like, how does that? Is that you guys just kind of bullshitting around like this would be sick, but you both can also write? But as it gets done and tightened up, is it something that you pitch at like festivals, or how would you guys go about?
We just kind of were talking about, man, they don't make the type of movies. That's like literally what my stand-up is. I'm like, I want to do the type of stand-up that I would want to watch. So with Normand, we just were like, man, they don't really make movies like Something About Mary or Dumb and Dumber anymore, like the types of comedies we grew up really loving. So we just were like, we should write a movie. And we met this producer guy, and he's like, I heard you guys talk about in the podcast, you should do this. I can make it happen. We're like, yeah, whatever, fucking jerk off, you know? And then he introduced us. Best part is he introduced us to like all these people who would write it, and we're like, yeah, we know all of them. They're comics, but we're just fucking lazy, so we didn't think that we could do this.
Yeah.
And then he set us up on calls, and we were like, all right, so Mark and I are smart enough to know that we're fucking not smart. So we were like, we'll just write it, but we need someone to do the story with us because we're not experienced screenwriters. So we can make it funny, but we can't, write a full movie. So we brought in Noah Garden Schwartz, who wrote for Marvelous Mrs. Maisel for like the whole run, and we knew him from stand up, and his wife Esther Steinberg. We wrote it with them. And now we got like producers and stuff. We're out to directors, so maybe it'll get made, maybe
Let's
not.
go,
but
dude.
Is it fully written now?
Yeah.
What's it about, dude? Give me
It's
a little
about
plot.
two liquor salesmen who are just down on their luck, and we have a liquor, so it's about. We were like, this is kind of a fun like Wedding Crashers style. Two dudes who are like kind of best buds, but can't catch a break and struggling liquor. Yeah, that's us with our whiskey right there, and it's like an old school comedy
too. Wedding Crashers. Why do you feel like they got away from that kind of comedy era?
It feels like they after the 2000s they kind of just dipped on
man.
all that stuff.
Because I think
the
Hollywood
tens-
kind of they ruined comedies. I think they were like in stand up. I don't get any notes, whereas in a movie there's so much money behind it in the studio that they're like, ooh, we got to cut this. That's not good, and that's poison for comedy. Is someone coming in and tinkering who doesn't know anything about fucking comedy. So, I mean, even with stand up, Amazon was like, hey, would you mind not? I had a joke I opened on that they asked me not to open on. Because they were like, it's going to kill our algorithm. And I'm like, that's where the fuck we are with comedy now. We're like slaves to the algorithm. Yeah. And they're right, because it probably would have ruined the special. But I had a joke. I had a joke where I text a friend and I said, congrats on your baby. She had a baby. And she sent me back a picture of her breastfeeding the baby. And I just wrote, oh, okay. And then she wrote, sorry if that's like the female equivalent of a dick pic. And I said, I think it'd be way worse if I send you a picture of a baby sucking my penis, and that was my opening joke. So I was like, I just want to get a quick laugh.
Yeah.
And Amazon was like, could you not open on that? And that's like a hard joke to like slide in.
Yeah.
I can't just like be like,
can't go middle of the pack and just put that one in there.
Well, that's the thing is like, I was kind of like, well, I can't. And then I was like, well, I guess at first you're like, fuck you, I'm an artist. I'm opening on the baby suck job joke, you know? And then they
I'm
were
not
like,
bending the knee.
that's what I said. And then I was like, well, I just get the joke back if I don't use it, right? And they're like, yeah. I was like, all right, I'll just have the joke back. So now I can put in the next hour, I guess.
Where's the line for you when these big corporations are trying to tell you to do X, Y, and Z, where you are like, hey, I'm an artist, I'm gonna do what I want to, like, yeah, maybe the dick joke isn't the best move.
They didn't say it couldn't be in the special. They were just like, we just don't open with it because if it's in the first 2 minutes, people that aren't fans of you might shut it off. And I was like, that's fine, I guess.
Like all the boys who have their girls like, yo, let's check out Sam. Let's check out Sam. And that's the one they're buying in on. And you're talking about a baby sucking your dick. She's like, this is who you want me to watch?
This is what you wanted?
Yeah.
I know, but it did hit. It would hit. Like I'm not, you're kind of focused testing the jokes. Like I took these jokes to like Europe, Australia. I'm all over doing these jokes. So I kind of know it's going to work, but you're just like, all right. I mean, there's battles to pick, and that was one I was just like, whatever, you know.
Has there been a joke you've tested in several markets that just has failed over and over, and you're like, all right, I guess nobody gets it the way me and the boys get it.
Sometimes when it's really self-deprecating, people are like, what the fuck? Like, well, that just made us sad. You think it's funny because you have enough distance from it, but they like feel bad. And I've learned through time to not get annoyed with it because it means they like you. But yeah, I had a joke about how my biological father left, and then I was raised by my stepdad, who's like my dad. I just call him Dad, a great dad. But when that happens, you have to get the biological father to sign to, like, say I allow you to adopt him. So I said it's like the opposite of a UPS package. He's like, here's my signature, and I don't want this.
Yeah.
That's why it didn't hit. It's too fucking sad, I guess. But I was like, to me, that's hilarious.
It's one like you're like laughing through, but also at the same time, it's like, damn, that's kind of sad for him.
I guess, but I that's the thing is, I would try to establish. I'm like, no, I'm like good. I lucked the fuck out. But I think they were like, oh, this is a bummer. The biological. There was another one with him that would be like on the fence, right? About sometimes it would kill and sometimes it would get like 0. About first time I ever met him. He was petting a cat, and I was like, what's up with the cat? He goes, I rescued her from the side of the road and then nursed her back to health. And I was like, so you did have it in you. It's another one. It would be like hit or miss.
Really? People would not think that's funny?
Sometimes. They would be like, oh, and I'd be like, oh, it's the worst sound. Yeah.
Empathy in a comedy set just doesn't sound like the feeling you want.
I hate that shit.
Yeah, no doubt. That is tough, dude.
Yeah.
When it comes to comedy, like you starting the process, like the ebbs and flows of going on stage and essentially everyone bombs in the beginning. Yeah. What made you want to keep coming back?
I think you just get, like Colin Quinn would always say, you get just enough to keep coming back, which I think is so true. You eat shit, but then like you're like, but that one new line got something. You get like a little taste.
One good stroke on the golf course, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm figuring it out.
Exactly. It's crazy. Like I would, it'd be so bad, but I would hand out flyers for everyone on the street. And, you go in on stage and they're like, people who like you got into the show. I'm handing flyers to them. I'm like, there's a hot show tonight, all these big name comics, and they're like, oh, all right. And then I go up and they're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah,
you lied to us.
That's the guy that just gave me the flyer.
He's the ticket boy.
Yeah, yeah.
So I bomb a lot in those rooms, but then like every once in a while you get a win and you'd be like, fuck. I mean, the real sign to keep going was those friends who like they support you in the beginning and then they're like, I don't know if he has it, but then they come back like a year later and you got way better. I mean, they're kind of like, oh shit, you're actually not bad at this now.
I feel like it'd be harder to tell your boys that you're going to go into comedy than just a random person thinking you're not funny. Because you tell your boys, hey, I'm going to go do stand up for the first time. I'm like, all right, yeah. Hey, he's funny. We'll see. Sam's pretty funny. He's going to do awesome. And then you bomb and they're like, man, maybe you should not do this.
Dude, well, that would happen.
And how do you even tell that to your boy? Like,
hey, what'd you think? What'd you think?
Yeah, stay at it, bro. Just tighten it up.
Yeah, and you're just like, all right, man, appreciate that.
Yeah.
I feel like I would try to keep it secret. Like just
I did
go
for a while.
Yeah.
I always wanted to bomb in the shadows. There were these comics who were like hanging around, like they'd be, trying to schmooze with the bigger comics, and that was not me. I was like, let me fucking bomb. There was this room on 107th Street that I would just do as much as possible, and I was like, let me just get my new jokes here, so that when they do see me, they're like, oh shit, this guy's pretty good. But the people that were just like schmoozing at a young age, I'm like, dude, stop fucking networking. And eat shit in a private room. Like that's how you get good. You know?
Go ahead, Bob.
I was gonna say, what were you doing at the time where you're just passing out flyers and because I'm assuming you're not getting paid very good money.
No, not good. I mean, I was in college when I was doing that, and then I was doing part-time shit when I was out of college, and because I started making money on the road, I won a festival called Laughing Skull in Atlanta, and the prize was a year's worth of road work. and I was just like a working comic from that point.
When you say a year's worth of road work, like what does that entail?
It means like they book me every weekend
Okay.
through the festival. So I would either
And they're
be, like,
working hard for you to sell tickets. You get the
no,
cut.
they don't fucking no. I had a no door deal. It was a flat fee at every club.
Got you.
But it was enough to get by, and I'd do whatever sad shit you've seen comics do in movies where you're like selling T-shirts or whatever to make extra. I mean, sometimes you're doing that. I would be opening for people in those clubs. Sometimes I'd either be headlining like C or B rooms and opening in the A rooms, and in those rooms it was like shit money. So I'd be selling T-shirts after the show and sometimes make more in the T-shirts than. But the worst thing is when you're fucking the T-shirt's usually a joke from your act that you're selling after the show. And when that joke bombs and you still have to fucking hawk that after the show, it's like, you remember when you hated this fucking joke? $25 right here.
Do you think podcasting has helped comedians in a lot of ways? It seems
Oh
like
my God,
anytime you
yeah.
go on a comedian's podcast, it just, especially if they're solo, just seems like they're working out bits constantly. Congratulations comes to mind with D'Elia back in the day.
Mhm.
You just see him like always working through something. Was that like
Yeah.
a new advance in the game?
I don't know. I mean, it is in terms of popularity, but I don't think it's good for your writing because you get burnt out when you see those comics that do like 9 podcasts. Your act is going to suffer.
Mm-hmm.
You only have so much in you, I think.
Might be drunk though.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun pod.
Yeah, that's when you get to kind of hang with the boy. You also did a pod with Julian Edelman, right? Weren't you part of the Games with Names?
Yeah. I would love to keep doing it, but they want to do it in LA for season 2, and I just.
Oh, for real? That's why it didn't work out?
Yeah.
It started off where?
New York.
Okay, it started off in New York.
But he's
and
got
me and
his girl in LA, so that's why I couldn't keep going. So.
And Jules got a girl?
His daughter.
Oh, a girl. Actual girl.
No, he is definitely not settled
He's a
down.
bachelor, bro.
Yeah, he's out there.
He's a bachelor. He's
He's-
like, oh, he's got a girl. Yeah, his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great fucking hang, though. I love him.
He's a good dude, man. It seems like that show's doing really well too.
Yeah, it's crushing.
Yeah.
Was it awkward when he was? Obviously, he's got his daughter in LA, but was it awkward being like, hey, are you going to be able to do this?
No, I mean, it's just sucked it didn't work out, but it's not like it wasn't weird between us. I think I was on Pardon My Take, and they were like fucking with me that he's gonna get like a new comedian, and I was like in LA, I'm like, which I wouldn't even been hurt by. I'm like, go get fucking an LA comedian, no sports, like Santino or someone, you know.
Yeah.
And he texts me right after, or didn't text me. He doesn't text. He voice memos. It's like every fucking LA person. They message while they're driving, so they don't
Hey,
text
Bubs.
you. Hey Bubs, yeah, we would never replace you. It's just gonna be me now. I was like, I wasn't offended, but that's like how
Yeah.
thoughtful Julian is, you know.
Growing up in New York, being a big New York sports fan, how was it with him? Did he give you any shit?
Yeah, it went both ways because
Yeah.
you know, when I get cocky, we did like Eli Manning and Teddy Bruschi
Mhm.
for our first episode, and I'm wearing the fucking Giants Super Bowl hat because I'm a Giants fan, and that was an awesome episode. Fucking loved Eli, and it was cool as hell that Bruschi comes on to discuss losing the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Because I guess when you win enough, you're kind of like, who gives a shit? I lost one.
Yeah, but that year was nuts
Yeah.
because they were knocking on the door of a
undefeated.
perfect season.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the Giants, everyone forgets, the Giants almost beat them. I think it was week 17 or 16. I forget which week it was, but the Giants almost beat them. And I remember that being like, oh, the Giants could beat the Patriots. It was like really
Because you
close.
guys got hot late in the year because you guys just kind of like squeaked in the playoffs, yeah?
Yeah, and our defense was fucking stacked. Like, that was Strahan's last
Yeah, I was
year.
gonna
Tuck was a part of that too.
Tuck.
Yeah.
Oh, man, Antonio Pierce was a beast.
That's when they had the cool face mask too, make everybody look like they were robots. Like
Yeah,
Ray
yeah.
Lewis started to
What
rep
was
that
his,
too.
what was his name?
Tuck. I don't remember.
Tuck
I
had
don't
one,
remember
but
his first
there's
name.
another guy, I feel like, on the interior.
Yeah, I can't remember. But they had some
That was a stacked
absolute
team.
studs out there, dude. Yes.
Yeah.
Stag team. Do you find yourself rooting for the Raiders at all with AP at the helm?
I root for his success.
Yeah.
I don't root for the Ray. I'm a Giants fan, but yeah, I think it's cool that he got the gig. I mean, he deserves it. I think, you know.
How tied in with the Giants, like fandom are you? Like, were you bummed seeing Saquon go to the
Yeah,
Eagles?
of course. I mean, how it hurts enough to lose a guy that talented, but to the fucking Eagles, I fucking hate the Eagles, dude.
I feel like Eagles
And
are a place that if you're not in Philadelphia, everyone outside of Philadelphia, like there's like a rumbling that everyone hates the Eagles.
Oh,
It's just a scary place to play.
Philly sports fans are psychotic.
Yes.
I'm a huge Knicks fan, so during that first round, I was tweeting nonstop, like "fuck Philly," just drunk in bars, being like, "I fucking hate the
Yeah.
Sixers." And the shit that I got back, I was like, "Damn, maybe I should stop. This is crazy." And then the next round against the Pacers, I was like, "This isn't bad. You guys are like nice farm people." You know?
Yeah.
The Philly people
Great
are like
sports.
doxing my family and shit. It's like it's a different type of hate.
Dude, the Northeast, their fan base, especially with their professional sports, is
But
crazy.
Philly's the most crazy. I think.
Philly's
Yeah.
the most crazy.
Bills Mafia goes hard too. I got a little squabble with one
They're
of their fan
intense.
base. Yeah, that almost
That's
put me
through
over
that
the
was
edge.
through social media.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
just go hard.
But you could be at a Philly game like Charles. She was wearing her Washington jacket when we played there, and they're like, "You cunt," and throwing full cans of beer at her.
No
I
shit.
swear to God, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
Bills, when you live in the combination of insanely cold weather, you're always losing.
Mhm.
Like it's enough. You basically turn into Jack Nicholson in The Shining. You start to fucking spiral.
all work and no play.
Sharing a stadium.
Yeah.
And they spent all that money on that stadium for that fucking city when everyone, like, have you been walking around downtown there? Everyone's on drugs. Like, that city needs a lot of help, and they're like, no, fuck, we'll put it in the stadium. You know?
Yeah.
I actually have a weird soft spot for Buffalo because I performed the great crowds. It's like a weird thing about you go up there. It's like Buffalo's great, Rochester's fucking cool, Syracuse will make you want to commit suicide for sure. It's awful. But Buffalo is cool and great Italian food.
Mhm.
I like
Great
Buffalo.
wings.
What
Great
about?
wings.
I don't know about that.
You don't think so?
I just
Really? Oh, I thought you were kidding.
I
no.
thought you were
I'm
too.
being so serious. I just think it's the blue cheese thing for me. If you're up there and you order ranch, they literally laugh you out of the building.
Well,
Oh, you're a
yeah, I
ranch
mean,
guy?
Oh,
Yeah, big ranch.
I'm like
You're both ranch over blue
big
cheese?
ranch guy, and I think blue cheese is maybe the worst condiment on the face of the
wow.
earth. Yeah, I have a
I only do it
serious-
with wings, but like for wings,
I
I
have
like
a
it.
despise for all blue cheese, the crumble, the sauce, all of it.
All right.
Same.
It's
But
my
I do.
least
I feel
favorite
like
thing.
I've learned it's mainly just because we haven't grown up and matured yet. Because I feel like they say when your palate gets a little bit more mature, you start liking the blue cheeses. of the
No,
world.
I don't know, dude.
Any
I-
cheese with mold on it's like, dude, what are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we trying to prove out here? There's nothing for that.
Yeah.
Not right?
Yeah, I'm not a blue cheese guy. I hate blue cheese.
I love it. Why do you think the Northeast is so big on their pro sports, but not necessarily on their college sports?
They suck.
Yeah, we
there
don't.
is that. That's a simple answer.
Yeah, we're not great at it. There's not a real culture. I mean, who am I going to root for in the city? Like St. John's or
Rutgers.
something? Rutgers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They won
guess
the first football game ever, right?
What are you talking about?
My mom
Rutgers?
actually went there, so I should be rooting for them. But no, dude, I mean, we just grow up with like also, I was so spoiled. Like, I think about the way Boston guys who are like in their 20s now are spoiled, how just every team wins.
Right.
Not being a 90s New Yorker was pretty fucking cool because the Rangers won the cup. The Knicks, we never got over the hump, but we were good every year. We were in the mix and we bloodied teams up. It was fun. Look, no one's beating Jordan. That's just how it was. But the Yankees were fucking unreal. And the Giants too. So it was a pretty cool. Yeah, look at that. Messier, badass.
That is cool.
I never really got into hockey like that. I know you're a big hockey guy.
I like hockey a lot. My brother, he played juniors, and my dad grew up in Edina, Minnesota, and he was always growing up in Arizona. He was like, we're at the ice den, we're always playing hockey and stuff like that.
It is the most fun sport to watch. Like you were saying earlier, playoff hockey.
Oh
like,
my god.
Getting to go to the Caps games out in Washington, like they would be the best in the regular season, but they would always lose in the playoffs. But going there, experiencing like game 6s, game 7s, like playoff hockey is insane to watch because it's so fast paced.
It's interesting too, like the places in the country now that have great like in-game experiences, like a Preds game here. It's in the South. You would think like no one really cares about hockey, but the in-game experience is insane.
Yeah.
They go so hard. They're yelling at the goalie. There's catfish being thrown around.
Broadway's packed.
Broadway's packed. It's just an absolute party.
Yeah, and I feel like there's a lot of like weird inside joke stuff with hockey too, where they throw the rats on the ice and shit. I like shit like that. You know,
Detroit does the octopus.
Yeah.
It's just everyone's got their little thing. And we were talking this before the podcast. Like the hockey culture is like a one-of-one culture.
Yeah.
It's a small team. Everybody's a booze bag. Everyone
Yeah.
gets after it. You know, you wake up, you rub your eyes, and then you go and fight. And you play, and,
You
and
go fight?
at the same time, it's a gentleman's game, just like you were saying. Like there's unwritten rules, things you do, you don't do. It's cool because there's just a lot of things that, In football, it's like cut. It's like the same.
Yeah,
Like-
well, the NBA players are now like almost too fashionable, where they're coming in and like, I'm like, it's like it's not a runway. You're going to play a fucking sport, you know.
Yeah.
Like I see guys coming in like furry Gucci, like those sandal things or whatever, and I'm like, you're supposed to be the tough guy on the team,
Right.
Yeah.
I want to see a guy coming in like Tim's or something,
Right.
you
It
know?
has like boxing gloves on.
yeah,
Just, like, comes in
exactly.
there with like a Mike Tyson outfit.
Yeah, it
But-
does feel like everybody's trying to go viral for some fashion thing pre-game. in
It's
the NBA.
fucking dumb. Look at like they look.
Yeah.
Oh, that one on the left just wearing shorts. That's fine, but like,
But
I
they
mean,
got
what is
cargo.
this shit on the right? What is he wearing?
right.
It's like
It
you're
does
trying.
get
You're
Go to that
trying.
Look
middle
at
one.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna
this one
say
right
that
here.
one right there. That is
Kuzma.
like nuts.
I don't know how tall that cat is, but he looks like
He's like
an
6'8",
alien.
I think.
Yeah, I mean, where do you find a shirt that long? That's so inconvenient. Inconvenient, dude. It's crazy.
He looks like a condom.
yeah. He
looks
like
ridiculous.
one of them car dealership balloons that
Yeah.
just.
Yeah, these
Yes.
wacky inflatable
Yeah,
tubes.
yeah.
It is nuts,
I
man.
mean, what the fuck?
That's like a Freddy Krueger vibe right there.
That's actually But you look at how hard he like. That's the thing is like it's supposed to be. That's Sabaka, right? He's also like a beautiful looking man. He looks like sculpted, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he's
Great looking body.
I know nothing about basketball.
He's
I don't know
he
a
was
fucking thing
beast.
about it.
Um,
But if
I mean,
you're
but
wearing
what
those
is this
outfits,
shit?
that's a nun outfit. That
what are you
dude's
going
going to
Downton
church
Abbey
right
or
after.
some shit?
When the skirts get involved, like even Deion Dawkins, you see him at the ESPYs.
I did not.
Deion Dawkins, he's a tackle for the Bills.
This one.
He was rocking like a skirt.
Yeah.
And that scarf, dude, it took a 65-year-old woman 3 weeks to knit. That thing is wild.
I was reading the Agassi book. It's so fucking funny. I mean, but there's, he was like an angry kid. He's a rebel.
Mhm.
And there's, as like a fuck you to his dad and everyone at this camp. He's like fucking up dudes in tournaments with mascara and like a pink mohawk on. It's like a fuck you to them. And in front of the whole camp, the guy's like, you want to fucking play like that? I'm putting a dress on you next game. Like, that's how they shamed him.
Really?
But I'm like, he's halfway there. I don't think he's going to give a
Okay.
shit.
Now that's a look.
Yeah. It's
That's-
kind of awesome. It's a hair. It's fake, though.
The hair's not real?
No, he was wearing a hairpiece there.
That'd
See, I
be
think
JP's
that
lane.
kinda
JP's a
was
big
hard.
tennis guy.
That was the big deal. Like, that was even before like coming out as gay was a big deal. That was like coming out as bald. That was like his
That was a
big
problem
thing.
out there?
Yeah.
Coming out his ball.
There was a big fight in the 70s and 80s about being bald, huh? That's when like, comb-overs were like the strongest they've ever been.
Ugh. Yeah, but you have to be like a strong ball guy like Kojak or something. You have to be like a badass
Yeah.
ball guy.
Being bald was like an embarrassing thing because look at all the old guys now. They try so hard just to take their little wisps of
That's
hair
what I'm
just to
saying.
cover.
Yeah.
But now there's so many treatments you could do. Or you could
I
just be
know.
like, look at Statham. He looks so fucking cool. But you got to hope that you have the right shaped head.
He's got a
without-
good
yeah.
shaped head. That is what it's all about. I heard the backstory on this guy. He had like a crazy criminal record before he got into acting.
Really?
That's
like it.
that's literally me just saying shit out of my ass right now for the sake of this podcast. But I do
Yeah.
believe he had himself a little bit of a criminal background. But I think now if you're able to put a couple coins in your pocket and you start to go bald, why not?
Yeah.
Why not just go
You
put
put
the
a couple
plugs in
coins
there?
in your pocket.
Yeah. Is that real?
Nah.
Oh, that's for sure real.
That's real.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if that was your actual mugshot? I mean, you gotta be the proudest you've ever been in your entire life.
He looks fucking cool.
Yeah, he does look fucking cool.
Damn, he's got a strong back. Look at
Bro,
that
his
shit.
back is nuts.
That's like Affleck in the town back.
Now we're
That's
getting to sports
fucking-
talk, dude.
yeah.
Nothing like dudes just admiring another dude.
I'm strong enough or secure enough in my sexuality. I can admire a dude's back.
No
You
question.
kind of
Yeah.
have to like
Yes.
being in the locker room and just seeing cats.
Yeah.
It's like Derrick Henry. You kind of just admire them as they walk
You just,
by.
they walk by and you're like,
Yeah.
man, I wish I had half that piece.
Get a little more proud of yourself. Like, how do I do it really
Yeah.
like this?
Slam the door.
Why you got to bring up? Why you
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
bring up me, dude?
Just dudes that are specimens. Look at this man right here. Low key, not bad, Will.
It's not terrible.
No.
Yeah, that looks good.
It's not terrible at all.
You got a strong back, kid.
Thank you, man.
You do.
I
He's
do
got
take
a-
a lot of pride.
He's
I
got a
take lot of pride in
D1
my
back.
Yeah, I could see that.
What would you say your best
Yeah, I
feature
can-
is physically? When you look in the mirror and
Jeez.
you're like, this sucks, but I'm proud of this. What is that? What are you proud of?
Nothing.
You got a
No,
strong-
don't say that.
Physically?
You got a
Don't say
strong
that.
hairline. You have a
got a
strong,
strong
hair.
All right,
hairline.
so then I guess that's it.
You got a good beard.
All right. You guys are.
What
are
else we
building
got
it.
going on here? Take your shirt off, dude. What do we got going on? Let's
It's not
size this
good.
boy up.
It's not good.
I start checking out his legs, see if he's got the teardrops going on with his knee.
No, I'm fucking. Oh
Go
yeah,
on.
that's a rough one. That was during COVID, spiraling in California. I was like, let me do a Kenny Powers type.
Yeah, the
Look.
American flag tank top. It
Yeah.
is kind of nice, man.
Yeah, those were dark times.
We interrupt this episode to bring you DraftKings. Have you been hungry for some college football? Well, we finally get a taste this weekend. Don't miss any of the action. Jump in at DraftKings Sportsbook. Let me say it again. Don't miss any of the action. Jump in at DraftKings Sportsbook. It is a small but mighty slate of games for week 0, including a big matchup in Ireland. It's super easy for first timers to get started. Try betting on something simple like picking a team to win. Go to DraftKings Sportsbook app, select your team, and place your first bet. This is going to be DraftKings' biggest college football season to date. Enjoy the ride now all the way through the expanded playoffs. And for all newbies getting into the college spirit, here's something extra special for you. New DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Score big with DraftKings all college football season long. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code BUS. That's code BUS for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Back to the episode.
It seems like you're blowing up in the comedy world right now.
If you say so, man.
It seems like it.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to tell, you know. I remove myself a lot from it, but like, yeah, you just want to. All I want is to go to clubs or theaters on the road and people show up, because like it's so fucking hard to write without having your people there. That's what you do for years, where you're like, all right, they give you a flat fee, you show up, and the whole time they're like, you got to prove you're funny. Like, there's this Dave Attell set on Conan from back in the day that I always think of, where first joke hits and he goes, I've proven I'm funny.
Yeah.
And I just like, oh, that's so fucking real.
Yeah.
You know?
Just the anxiety of all that. Is that the biggest fear when you're going up? Is just the bomb, or are you
no,
past
I don't
that
care.
fear?
Yeah, I don't give a shit. I feel bad for the audience more than I do for me. Like if it's bad, I'm like, oh man.
Have you ever publicly apologized?
I've said like, I don't apologize, because it's like going on a date that's bad, where you're like, I'm just gonna apologize. You're like, well, this isn't working, you know? So yeah, I'll let them know that I'm sometimes where I'm like, I know this is going badly. Like I've seen comics like just pretend it's going well and power through. I will say, I just want you to know I'm good enough to know that this is bad.
Yeah.
I want you to know that I'm not shitty and unaware.
Yeah.
You know, so
You just start seeing the crowd
at least I'm aware,
nodding their
folks.
head.
yeah. Oh, they know. Yeah, I had a weird one a week ago. I bombed 3 straight. It was weird. That really never happens to me anymore. I did 3 in a night. I was at the Stand in their upstairs room, and it just didn't connect. And then I was like, man, that was rusty. And I saw Colin Quinn at the Cellar. He's like, they fucking stink. And I was like, shit, all right.
Yeah.
But I was like, in your head, you're like, I'll get them. You know, there's that ego.
Yeah,
And then I
yeah,
went
yeah.
up and I fucking ate it. And then there was a third one, and they were good, but I was just kind of rattled, and I sucked. And I was like, man, I haven't.
You were
bombed-
living in the past. You were getting to the next play.
I was, yeah. I was thinking about, and I'm doing all new shit from not in the special when I'm at the Cellar. So I'm like really trying to, and it's tough because I'm trying to hone like a 7-minute Holocaust chunk right now.
Okay.
And it's hard to work out in a 15-minute set. I need to build in that, you know, that goodwill.
Yeah,
But they're funny jokes.
you're taking half the time to talk about genocide.
Yeah.
That's
But it's a funny
there's some
joke.
murky waters there.
Yeah, but it's
Guys,
I
this is going
think
to
that
be
I love the way
dangerous. Buckle up.
no, look, those are jokes you got to earn, as
Yeah.
they say. It's tough to come out and be like, I've tried a couple of times. You get that, you're like, let me see if I can dig myself a hole and dig out of it. So I've definitely been like, I was watching that Hitler doc. I like opened my set that day, and they're just like, nope. And then you're like, well, it's going to be a rough 7 minutes.
Right.
And then you're like, let's see if I can dig out of this.
There's a lot of comics that are just like great. People talk about Louis C.K. about like essentially coming in the room and purposely losing the crowd just to get him back. Like some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Other people you watch and kind of like train yourself on like get out of jail free card comments.
I always respected how he would do that. I mean, he would definitely, he opened a special with like an N-word bit, which I was like, that's fucking pretty dicey.
Yeah.
But I thought he
Amazon
pulled it
would
off.
never go for that.
No.
No
Don't open
fucking
on
chance.
that.
No shot.
No.
He is incredible. Not the
Yeah.
things he's done off the stand, but definitely a hell of a comedian.
Oh, he's
A hell of a
one of the
comedian.
best comedians of all time.
Would he be on your Mount Rushmore?
The Mount Rushmore shit's tricky, but yeah, I think he's.
It's a fun game to play though.
He's
Who
one
were
of
some
the
of
best.
those guys before you got into
This
it?
is
that
such
kind of
sports talk though. Sports people always, it's like the greatest, but
Yep.
it's like it's entertainment. I think it's different. Like I could
Nope.
do a Mount Rushmore in sports, but Burr is phenomenal too. Yeah, they're 2 of the best ever.
Who are the guys that were inspiring you to get into it and kind of stick with it and be like, yo, this is the lane I want to be, no matter how much I'm bombing right now or handing out flyers. Like I'll figure it out at some point.
Bill Burr was one of them for sure. Louis, like I saw Bill, David Tell was incredible. Rock, kind of all the classics, I love Rodney Dangerfield. He fucking killed me. Back to School is like my go-to when I'm like feeling low. I'm like, let me watch Back to School. It's like, you can't be in a bad mood. Every character in that movie serves to just set up his jokes. But like his wife will be like, you're impossible. And he's like, oh yeah, and you're easy,
Yeah.
I love comedy like that where just every character's just like setting him up.
Yeah, just serving on a silver platter.
Yeah.
What is kind of your North Star? Like, you having a special now, like when you look at your 5-10 years, like what is your North Star?
Dude, I'm doing it. That's the thing. It's like, like when people say to you guys, I guess sports is different because you're like, I want a Super Bowl or something, but like, don't you feel when you make the NFL, you're like, fuck, I just want to work. I just want to be continuing to work because
you feel that way. And then you read some comments and you're like, fuck,
I can honestly
trash.
say
I gotta change the narrative right now.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you look at the comments?
Oh, bro,
it's tough not to.
I've
I mean,
told
that Twitter search bar, that's the devil.
You search it?
Oh, have.
I don't do that. I'll see the ads, but yeah, I would never search my name.
Bro,
dude.
I've said this story before, but I remember playing on Thanksgiving, missing 2 tackles on the first drive.
Story as old as time.
Elliott. Yeah, story as old as time. And all I was thinking about on the bench is like how people are just trashing me right now, because sometimes after a game, you like quote your name and write in your name to see what people are be like, I had a pretty solid game. Like, let's see if everybody else thought the same thing. And it's like, oh, fuck, they don't. And it would just like be in your head mentally, because you wouldn't be separating yourself from like, just watching film and, knowing what you do, knowing what the coaches are saying and everybody else, and just understanding what your job is. You're like, you start to get consumed by what people think of you. It's
Absolutely
a very slippery
consumed.
slope.
But
as
that's the danger, right? Because like
Oh,
we're
super
all
dangerous.
looking for validation in this unhealthy place. We're
Yeah.
like, why am I looking here for this shit?
It's a sickness, dude. Because
Yeah.
you're just looking for all like, hey, I hope everybody loves me in this moment.
Yeah.
And you'll see 9 comments that are like, you're the best, or whatever the comment
right.
is.
But you
But
get
the
that
one's
one.
like, this guy fucking sucks, and you're like, man, do I? Am I actually?
But
The
I bet
worst?
some of those guys are fans too of yours.
No question. There's been multiple times when I was playing that someone would say something nasty, and then you would comment back to them like, oh, I just want to see if you respond.
Isn't that
And,
weird?
Yeah, it's a weird deal. It makes me think a lot about like anybody in the entertainment industry before the internet. And was life easier? Because obviously now people get exposure way more. People are able to see you, learn about you, become fans of you. But also the hate comes in floods.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if Jordan ever like grabbed the newspaper and was like reading through all that
Oh,
stuff.
I mean,
'Cause
that's
there's-
his whole doc is like, she would literally make up shit to get angry about. It's like my
Yeah,
fucking
that is true.
ex-girlfriend.
That was a bad example. That was a bad
Yeah.
example guy.
Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the only person I know before the internet. It is a wild deal. It's hard, man. It's hard not to feed that side of you. That's like just wants a validation. You're like, please tell me I'm good enough.
Yes, I mean, but also, you're working. You got here because do the right people believe in me? That's the thing,
Mhm.
right? And we all do it. Like, it's a moment of weakness. Did they nail the one thing that I think about myself? Like, are they fucking on it? And every once in a while, you're like, yeah, they got it.
Yes. I know, man.
But that's all right. Like, you just can't live there, man. Like, moments of weakness are one thing, but if you live in that place, it's just, yeah, this social media shit, it's amazing. Like, we're adults. Like, think about what this does to kids.
Right.
And they do studies. Like, Facebook does studies where they're like, wow, this is really bad. And they're like, we're going to keep doing it. But,
Yeah, a lot of
but
money.
We said we did the study.
Yeah.
That's how they do it.
It
Just
is.
to
You got a
cover
great
their
mindset
tracks.
when you say like, "What's your North Star?" You ask what the North Star is, and you're like, "I'm doing it right now." That's a
Stand-up is
fantastic
it.
mindset
Dude,
to have.
I just wanted to be able to sell out comedy club weekends. That was it. I was like, can I sell out comedy clubs? And then, last year was a theater tour, and I was like, I don't have any desire to get to arenas. I mean, like that, I'm good here. This is a great area. I don't particularly, like, if I got there, fine, but I have no desire. I don't really like arena comedy.
Mhm.
I like it in theaters. I like it because there's theaters where it still feels intimate, even up to like 2000,
Yeah.
but or more. But
But then you get in an arena one day. You're like,
I'm
"Oh,
not saying I
nice
wouldn't take it.
theater."
I'm just saying I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is a good thing too, because it shows that you're more in line with worrying about what your craft is and what you enjoy about it versus thinking I got to get to this next thing. I got to get to this next thing. To me, that's where you get caught up in trying to find the validation everywhere else.
Yeah.
Because you're so hungry to chase this ambition.
Yeah.
You want to know if the pulse of it is trending with you.
No, I'm with you.
That even made
You
sense.
just got to stay. No, you just have to stay. It totally made sense. You have to stay loving what you do. Like you see these guys. I remember hearing a Michael Jordan quote once where someone asked him, "How did you become the best?" And they all thought he was gonna be like, "I worked harder than everybody." But the quote was, "I learned to love the shitty parts."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Wow, that's a kind of beautiful." I heard that. I was like, I'm gonna roll into morning TV and morning radio, and I'm gonna like really try. I'm gonna pretend I love this shit.
Yeah.
That's got to be like the gym for you guys. You know, it's like
It's the meetings, man. Those
Yeah, embracing
meetings,
that
bro.
suck. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just talking the other day. It's like part of you, as the season gets closer, you start to miss the certain things of ball, but also it's like all the shitty parts that come with like feeling that heat outside, imagining going out in a training camp, and
Yeah, it
just
starts in
buckling,
6
strapping
days.
up with the boys. Yes, they start in 6 days.
That's just
Could you even imagine doing that?
No. I mean, when we went down to U of A for the Barstool Bowl, and it was Wyoming versus Toledo.
Yeah.
And just watching guys warm up, I'm like, how the fuck did I ever do something
Hearing
like that?
guys
grueling.
just pop the pads.
It's
you're
grueling.
just
And the farther you get away from it, you're like, that's just crazy.
it's almost as grueling as living in Toledo.
Yeah.
That's a
Toledo-
rough fucking city.
Yeah. Toledo's got a lot of them Confederate flags rocking out there.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I've been to Toledo a couple times. Those
Yeah.
boys, they think they're in the South or something. It is wild.
Oh, it's
collar.
yeah. I did some rough weekends there coming up. I remember like a lot of different. I closed one club there. I remember like a guy drove me to the airport, and my manager at the time was like, "Did you cash the check?" And I was like, "I'm at the fucking airport." And he goes, "Cash it immediately." I was like, "I'm at the airport. What do you mean?" He's like, "The club just closed." I'm like right now? And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "You closed the club." I'm like, "All right."
Wait.
So I had to like land and run to it was a Sunday thing. I had to wait till Monday or whatever. But like, yeah, the club closed.
Did you get it cashed?
I got it, but I've been stiff before.
Have you really?
Yeah, I did a gig in Atlantic City of all places, where it's like that's where you expect to get stiffed in Atlantic City. But yeah, I just filmed my half-hour special for Comedy Central. I think it was 2015, and I was doing a week in AC, and it was like not crazy money, but at the time you're like, this would be nice to have.
Mm-hmm.
And it was one of those gigs where they're like, you're playing the casino, but like we got you a different place to stay. Like that's how fucking insignificant
Yeah.
you were. So I remember going in like drunk to we were on the boardwalk, but it was kind of like a shitty, sad apartment. It looked like where just like a PI would stay. And I came in like loaded one night after one of the sets, and I just remember looking at the cockroach, stomping it out, and then just passing out on the bed. It's all a bad omen for the week. And I was paired with 2 other comics. There was like 3 comics headlining, and one of them was like a degenerate sports gambler. In the summer, just betting on every baseball game. And we didn't speak much in the green room, but all I'd hear would be like, can't catch a fucking break. Every time he looked at his phone, just losing. He was like, the fucking Tigers. I'm like, you're betting on regular season baseball, dude. What do you expect? Like, these games are insignificant, you know? So we do the full week. And I remember at the end, my agent at the time was like, yeah, they didn't have the money. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, they don't. You're not going to get paid. I was like, that's fucking, I just was here for a week.
It sounds like you had to fire that agent.
Of course.
He had to go.
Yeah.
You like do the gig, and he's like, oh, they don't have the money to pay you.
Yeah. His whole thing was like, he owes other people way more money. I'm like, that's not the comforting words I was really looking for, but
Well, you put a judgment on this guy.
the guy disappeared.
Oh, the agent?
No, the guy who ran,
Oh,
the guy
ran
who
the
owed you
room
money?
in AC. Yeah.
Yeah, you
He
put 2 and
just
2
happened to
together there.
disappear.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
What
Yeah.
are some of your favorite places to play? Favorite
cities? I mean, dude, I like it. I mean, I did the Ryman here last year. That was gorgeous. That's like iconic.
It is.
The Moore in Seattle is a pretty beautiful theater. I just saw Bill Burr filmed a special there. I was like, yeah, I was thinking about filming there. I think it's like beautiful. The Wilbur in Boston, that's where I take my special. I love it. It's just like so classic. I love New York, so like, you know, wherever, but the Majestic in Dallas was pretty fucking cool.
The Majestic. Pull
Yeah.
that up. Sure.
Yeah, that was beautiful, dude. Honestly, everywhere I was last year in the theaters was sick. But yeah, I mean, any city's cool for a night. That's the other thing too. Like, yeah, it's beautiful. Look at that. It's like just classic.
That's a nice looking place. Looks like that place, Notre Dame.
Yeah, well,
Oh, the fucking Chicago theater, dude.
Is
Pull
that what
that
that's
up.
called?
Yeah, that's a great one. Chicago Theater.
Oh, that's what it's called? The one I'm talking about?
No, what?
There's one in Notre Dame that
Yeah.
we went to. It looks very similar to that.
Oh, I don't know.
Do you notice a difference where you're at in the country? What jokes hit and what don't?
Not really. They're my crowd. I mean, nah, it's pretty consistent. Like I'm also not making like these crazy political statements in my act. If I talk politics at all or social commentary, I'm like, this better be funny, whether you're pro-life or pro-choice. I kind of want everyone to laugh at it. So
Yeah.
I'm not asking you to pick a side with my jokes. Although some people hear like a dead baby joke and they're like, "You motherfucker," but I'm like, no, it's fun. It's a fun dead baby joke.
It's a fun dead baby joke.
They exist. I did a lot of dead baby jokes in this special. I can't help it. Like you're like, I shouldn't write, dude. That's the problem. Is like I tell myself not to write dark jokes, but then you're just sitting alone in a room and you start laughing to yourself, and you're like, why the fuck are these the jokes that pop into my head? You know. Like everything that's popping into my head is like a dead baby joke or like you know, as I said, like Hitler jokes. Like they keep making me laugh because they're so. That's what makes me laugh. Something so bad that it's funny, you know.
I mean, dead baby jokes.
I had a joke. The one joke that got me like death threats for real was I did a joke about a baby that got eaten by an alligator at Disney, and immediately I was like, let me try a joke about this, you know. And I was at the cellar, and I opened by being like, man, I don't want to come off like a gun nut, but I think if that baby was armed, he'd still be with us. And a woman stands up like, fuck you, you piece of shit. Like, and I'm just like, all right, this is weird. So let me roll with this. So I'm just messing with her at this point. I'm like, did you even watch the baby's funeral on TV? In my head, I'm like, is she? And she's like, oh, I didn't. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, you think they televise baby funerals? I'm clearly messing with her. I said, well, if you did, you would have seen the mom come on through tears and say, see you later, alligator. And she just was like horrified and ran out screaming, she wrote a long email to the Comedy Cellar, which they made the mistake of sending to me.
Yeah.
And then I just turned it into a whole fucking like 8-minute chunk that I put in a Comedy Central hour special. And Comedy Central, when I put it out, was like, you have to say before this bit that we don't condone this. And I was like,
You
all
have
right.
to say.
So you just say Comedy Central does not condone this next one?
Yeah, I think I said something along the lines of like, Comedy Central wanted me to say that this is not funny.
Mm-hmm.
Me, on the other hand, I think it works. So it's like something like that. And then it was like an 8-minute bit. And legally, they were like worried that they were going to get sued because it was a real story. But the bit wasn't about the baby. It was just that opening joke was about the baby. And then everything else was about the woman complaining. But I still got messages like, I hope you, every once in a while it would like get reshared and go viral. And I would just get like, you motherfucker.
You're like, oh fuck, here we go.
Like, we hope you fucking die. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to Disney, you know, like,
Yeah.
although we did go surfing with Bert on his Fully Loaded tour. And I kept thinking like, if I get eaten by an alligator, that bit's going to go viral again.
Yeah.
And they're going
That'd
to
be
be
a
like,
nice
see,
send-off.
motherfucker.
Yeah.
How fun is that Fully Loaded tour? It seems like he does it up right.
It's probably the best tour I've ever been a part of. It was like insane. I mean, we're playing like pickup basketball one day. He brings a trainer. He brings a cold plunge. So it's like hard living at night. And then every day you're just like, he's like, hey, you guys want to do weightlifting and batting practice at the minor league stadium? I'm like, fuck yes. This sounds amazing. So
Yeah.
it's great.
Dude, Bert is the life of the party. We
Yeah.
do like a beer Olympics every year the last 3 years. And 2 years ago he came and he looked rough. Like he couldn't get his ring off his finger. He was looking all red.
Yeah,
He
he's a
had
little
that-
inflated.
Yeah, he had that TRT like skin tone.
Yeah.
And this year he comes back. He looks way better.
Yeah.
Way more put together. And I love his energy is all time. I can't believe he does it 24/7.
He's the man.
He really doesn't slow down.
He's like real life Homer Simpson if he had a lot of money.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
He is
He's the
awesome,
man.
man. Big fan of him.
If you could build out, let's just say you're headlining a tour, you can build out your act any way you want it. Everybody's available. What 3 acts would you take with
Who
you?
would I bring?
Yeah.
Damn, that's tough. I got to bring Normand.
Why'd you say it like that?
No, because I mean we're just like we have fun.
I gotta bring Norman.
Well, no,
I
he's
gotta
first.
get my boy. I gotta.
It's,
pull him
I'm
up.
because I'm thinking about who I'm eliminating. That's
Yeah.
why,
Yeah.
not who I'm bringing. Stavros, I don't see him enough. I can't get him out of his house.
What's his vibe? Because he seems hilarious.
fun.
I'm a fan of his.
He's the best. I mean, there's nothing. He's hilarious. He's like a fat poon hound. I mean, what's not to love about him?
Yeah.
I love him. I mean,
He's got the perfect look with that mustache
He
and the hair
does,
trailing.
bro.
yeah, he's the man.
Anytime a Ravens game's anytime a Ravens
Dude, the
game
Ravens
happens,
thing is
you're just
funny.
like, yo,
He
what's
did
about to
the
post?
schedule release for the Ravens.
Oh, that's right. He
Yeah.
did.
I was part of a schedule release thing for the Cowboys. They just asked me to do it, and I was like, no, I'm a Giants fan. They're like, Eli's doing it, and I was like, all right, I'll do it.
Nice.
And then it was just like Post Malone. Like they call you and it's just Post Malone and a bunch of other like it was like the mascot, and they just like stare at you and don't say a word. And it was just me being like, what the fuck? And that was what they used. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, I thought you were gonna let me say something like witty. They're like, no, that's good.
That's perfect. Good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, they hang up the phone, text you. Nice.
Yeah. No, he crushed it with that. That schedule reveal was awesome. And so that's 2. I don't know. For the last one, anyone. I feel weird saying like an elder statesman, so I'll probably bring another guy who's like in my class comedically, maybe like Joe List or someone like that.
Joe List. I don't know if I'm familiar
He's a
with Joe.
beast.
Yeah,
I think
I'm not
that's a
familiar
really
with Joe
good show right there. Not a lot of diversity, but
Diversity.
but it's a good
Hey,
show.
You're gonna know exactly
You
what
know your
crowd is,
target
though.
audience.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
I want to see yours.
Yeah, where am I? Oh, there I am.
I got PFT in it.
Oh yeah.
Great cameo.
Yeah.
Great
Quick
cameo.
cameo.
A lot of fans, a lot of Cowboy fans too. That must have been good for the juice.
Oh man. Hate the Cowboys. Hate the Cowboys and like Eagles are the 2 ones. Eagles it hurts more though because they're actually good.
Yeah,
I don't
Cowboys,
believe-
I don't
They
have
kinda
no
shit
idea how the
bed
Cowboys
at the end of
aren't
the year
good.
last year, though.
They
Eagles.
did, but I believe in Hurts way more than I believe in Dak.
Why do you say that?
Really? I mean, I just think first off he's made a Super Bowl, you know?
Yeah,
I just trust him more with the ball. He's just I think he's a beast. And also they have so many weapons on Philly that
I was gonna say I feel like Hurts is just surrounded by a lot more. Not saying Hurts isn't a good player. I think he's a really
Yeah.
good player, but I feel like Dak does more with less.
that's fair.
he does more with less, and I think it's a coaching issue too. At the Cowboys,
Like
you
about
look,
the situational ball.
their situational ball is just horrendous.
Yeah.
A couple years ago in the playoffs, I bring up this all the time, but they ran like a draw at the end of the game. They don't get in the ball, and the ref doesn't spot it fast enough, and the
They're
game
all
just
passing
ends.
the ball around
Yeah,
to
it
each
just
other, trying to
ends.
give it. Yeah.
It just seems like when there's like little time on the clock, they're throwing it over the middle with no timeouts, not playing the sidelines at all.
Yeah, they're not getting the best out of what they have
Mm-hmm.
either.
Yeah, because the Cowboys do have studs.
Yeah.
And their defense, they always have a good defense or
Always.
big names on defense.
Oh
at
my
least.
god, the fucking what's his name? I don't know why I'm
Parsons.
He's
Micah?
like one of the most unbelievable players I've ever seen.
I know. I
And
did
he's
not
funny,
expect
too.
that.
Yeah.
In the him and Watson together.
CJ
What,
Stroud.
CJ Stroud, yeah.
I'm thinking CJ Watson, the basketball player. For some
Yeah.
reason. No, Strauss and Parsons together are hilarious.
The back and forth is really good. Yeah, they got Lamb. Isn't Ferguson the tight end?
Yeah, he's a stud.
He's a stud. Their offensive line is always really good. I'm interested to see what the Eagles do this year without Jason Kelsey. Because having a good center is a huge move, but having a good center with that type of leadership, that is going to be a devastating blow for them.
Yeah, that was so sad watching him walk off the field. Like I know he had a great career, but it's like, man, it was like I'm not an Eagles fan, but I was like, man, that guy just seems like pretty cool
Yeah.
Right.
and good for the game. You got to like players like
Good
that.
for the game. That's
And
a
he
good way to
always
put him,
has
too.
Those iconic speeches, whether you get the inside look when he's talking to the team doing a team meeting,
Mhm.
or that iconic Super Bowl speech that he had after, where he's
Yeah.
wearing the whole fit.
It was awesome.
It had like a WWE promo.
Hungry dogs run faster.
Yeah.
It's crazy because it's just a football town, Philly. Like they have other teams, but like you go to a restaurant there, they like hand you the check and are like, "Go Birds!" You know?
Really?
Yeah, it's a football town.
Man.
They're a legit football town.
Yeah, even playing them in preseason, you like run out and they're all booing you and they're taking it as if it's the playoffs or something like that. And it's like, yo, the
it's the
starters are
most
playing 3 snaps this game.
Yeah.
It'll be so serious.
It's the
for it.
most hostile environment to play in, which
Yeah.
makes
Is
it
that
fun
number
to
one?
play
You
in.
think?
I think so. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what's 2? Buffalo.
Probably.
You think Buffalo's hostile?
Who else?
Yes,
is
I
it?
do. I think Buffalo's
Really?
hostile.
I
Yeah.
don't feel like Buffalo.
I'm trying to think of no one on the West Coast.
Well, you got
Cleveland's
Seattle.
pretty hostile.
Yeah.
No, but Seattle's loud. I don't think they're like aggressive towards the
Yeah.
players. But I think Cleveland. I'm trying to think who else.
Yeah, the
Is
dog
Deshaun
pound.
Watson going to start again this year?
It seems like it,
Yeah,
right?
I think so.
They paid him all that fucking money.
That was
He-
so cool when Flacco was
Oh,
balling out.
Dude,
bro.
that was the
That
best.
was cool as shit.
Ravens, yeah. Ravens are a hostile
Yeah,
group.
Baltimore.
That's a good group.
They take after. They always have a nasty D. And like I remember all those years of Ray Lewis and Ed Reed and
Suggs.
and
Yeah.
Siragusa. Remember, like
Yeah.
They had some studs.
they were always such a nasty defense. I remember that year they beat the Giants. It was 2000 or 2001. Just an embarrassing Super Bowl. It was like 41-7 or some.
Right.
I remember we had the one Ron Dixon run back, and I was like, "That's all we got? A special teams touchdown?"
I know.
In this,
yeah.
we couldn't do shit. Ray Lewis is just like
He was the MVP.
he's a beast.
He's a scary individual.
Yeah.
Suggs too, man. He was just built different. I played him my rookie year, and he just handled me like a child for
Yeah.
4 quarters. It was just tough, strong, quick,
Sturdy.
sturdy. That boy had an ass on him.
Yeah.
You put a glass of water
He
down
does. Yeah, he
on the
does.
top, it would just sit there, no problem.
Yeah, I wanted them to get over the hump last year. It was just like a guy with no real team in that game. I was kind of rooting for Jackson to get over the hump.
Really?
A little. I mean, Mahomes is incredible, but like, I don't know.
I wanted the Niners to win.
I
last
was
year.
too, just because Lamar also gets so much hate that it's like, okay, he gets to the playoffs, he's going to lose. And I do feel like they always have incredible regular seasons and they just can't, for whatever reason, put it together in the playoffs. And everybody tries to finger point that it's Lamar. So I kind of like root for him too, and trying to get over that hump.
Well, just because
Niners
why
are
did
so
he have
fucking
to?
tough.
Why did he have to prove himself so many times? And
Right.
Watson just gets that fucking bag. I hated that. But yeah, I think the Niners are a really cool team. I like that kid Purdy. I feel like he doesn't get his he didn't. Now people know he's really good, but I feel like for a long time they're like,
Yeah, there's
this
some
guy's
people out there
whatever.
saying he wasn't that good. He's a stud. He's a stud.
He's a stud.
He
No, I
is a
saw
stud.
you said that too. I did see you saying
Glad you
that.
picked that up.
Yeah.
Some people out there were saying I was just a messenger,
Some
but I
mean
actually
things.
publicly, to Brock's face, apologized. I'm full.
No, I saw the clip. It was awesome. I love that you did that.
Yeah, because that was some backlash. We got some boys on the Niners too that were like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
Like Christian McCaffrey was like, "Can we talk about you trying to be TMZ or something? Like, what's going on?" I'm like,
Well, you're two dudes talking in a podcast. That's the problem. Is like you talk enough, you're gonna start saying some shit.
saying some shit, and all of my quarterback takes are wrong.
Really?
I think everyone I've had.
Who else were you wrong about?
There was Brock, and then I did something else. I forget who it was.
You said CJ Stroud, but that's more of an Ohio State thing.
Yeah, CJ Stroud's the only Ohio State quarterback to ever do well.
What do you think about Daniel Jones?
Dude, I'm not in the Giants world enough, but
Yeah.
just being on the outside looking in, like you let go of somebody like Saquon, you're paying somebody over. It seems like you're very much overpaying somebody like Daniel Jones. and
Oh,
they make
yeah.
way too many excuses for him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude,
He got a neck
Yeah.
on him, huh?
he does not look scary.
But if I had to play devil's, he does not.
Is that really the face? You're like, that guy's gonna beat us.
That guy's a killer.
Yeah, he's coming to town this week.
Although I guess Eli did not look like that dude
No.
either. He is physically, he can run and but like it's weird because all the stereotypes people will say about like a black quarterback, I feel like that's true about Daniel Jones.
right.
Where they're like, he can just run, that's it.
Just a good athlete.
Yeah.
Play some shorter passes, got that down, but can't handle the long ball.
It does seem like your O line has been eviscerated.
Dude,
In
last
recent
year,
years.
I
The
had
years
to
I was
like
playing with
turn
them.
the games off half the time because I'm like, I can't watch this. It's like, it just feels, that scene in Casino Royale where they're just like throwing the shit into Daniel Craig's nuts
Yeah.
for like, and you're like, this is fucking, that's what it felt like watching him last year. It's like, they're just hammering him. And it was like, yeah, of course he got injured. Thank God he got injured. It was
Right.
it was embarrassing. I mean,
Right.
and then fucking Tommy Cutlets. This is what I have to watch. It was like a punchline. I'm like, I have to watch like an SNL character.
That was the funniest thing.
If I ever see this shit again, I'm gonna kill myself. I'll watch this shit on The Sopranos. I don't want to see it. That fucking agent too. That guy was such a clown.
Rocking
That's
the
a-
fedora.
He just looks like
He's a self-sucking agent, dude.
I hate. You don't want an agent like that.
No.
You don't want an. It's like LeVar Ball. Remember that guy?
No.
Yeah.
Lonzo
LeVar-
Ball's dad.
yeah.
the
You
dad.
don't want that guy to be taking all the pressure.
Mhm.
You don't want him to take all the attention. And look at this guy.
He wants it though. Like it's like he's written books. He's always trying
That
to
dude
push
gives
his
a bad
books.
name for New Yorkers.
and Italians.
Yeah.
And fucking, I mean, I don't, what is it? Like, he's not, you're not going to have money left.
No.
That dude's spending your money.
Yeah.
Oh, that wire didn't come through, you know?
That dude's taking a 20% fee when it should be 3%.
Yeah.
Because the quarterback, DeVito, he was getting shit on because he ended up charging some local spot higher than he usually does, right? But that was because of his agent trying to mark up the price. I think they were doing some signing, right?
Back and then Tommy was like, I'm going to do it for free.
Correct, yeah. But he was getting shamed at a spot that he usually goes to.
Was that your agent from Atlanta?
Yeah, it sounds like it, right?
Yeah.
Coniglio's, a pizza restaurant in Morristown. Yeah, you can't fuck the people of Morristown. That is the funny thing about the Giants. So they're like, don't you want to play in New York? And you're like, it's Jersey, dude.
Yeah.
They all live in Jersey.
I know, that is crazy. Because you do sell it as like, New York. Legit.
But it's not
you feel like
New
you're going
York.
to be in the city. Yeah.
I hate going to games. I don't want to get in the fucking bus. And then you take the train back with all these just piss drunk goofballs. I'm like, I hate it. I hate going to games.
So you're not a big go to games guy?
I used to go. Yeah, I'd rather watch it. I'm like, Sunday, it's so much nicer to just have all Sunday at home and just eat
Be on your
wings,
couch, yeah.
The
order
idea of
pizza.
going somewhere is great. But the minute the event ends, you're like, why the fuck did I do this?
Dude, I wanted to see the Stones at MetLife, and then I was like looking at ways to get there, and I was like, I guess I'm just never going to see the Stones. I'm good. The travel just makes you just, miserable. I don't, and I'm all down for the story, but like, what's the story? Some fucking drunk guy puked on the train ride back. It's not a good story.
Yeah.
I was at a game. My friend's dad somehow got tickets. They were like last row of the stadium, but it was Giants versus the Vikings NFC Championship. Kerry Collins just went on a heater and just started lighting up. It was like 41-0 Giants won. And I was in the nosebleeds for that. I was like, man, that was pretty fucking cool to be there.
That's awesome.
Ike Hilliard just owning dudes. And I loved Amani Toomer. I loved that those receivers were pretty damn fun.
Did you enjoy Plexico Burress?
Oh, I loved him,
Letting
dude.
a gun go off.
Yeah, but before that, he won us the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
that
he
was
was
the
a
coolest
monster,
catch
bro.
ever.
What happened there? He shot himself?
Yeah, I think he
I think the safety wasn't on.
Yeah,
or something.
safety wasn't on. He accidentally pulled the trigger. I think he was maybe getting in or out of a vehicle.
He was in a bar.
Oh, he was in a bar.
Yeah, you
Just showing
can't.
it off?
I don't know.
I think it was in sweatpants, and I think it just
Yeah.
all of it was
Gun
like
in
a dude.
sweatpants.
All of it was like a dude who doesn't know how to handle a gun.
Yeah.
Like you should not be doing
You
this.
gotta know how to use a gun.
That is funny, man.
But man, that catch was fucking. I did not think the Giants were gonna win that Super Bowl. I going in, I was like maybe, because once everyone picks the Patriots in the pregame, you're like maybe we are gonna win. Like once everyone's so certain, because I knew the defense was sick, but then once Brady scored that final touchdown, I was like, fuck, I think that's, my friends and I just poured some shots of whiskey and we downed them. We're like, we're fucking toast.
That's it.
And then Eli did that David Tyree catch,
Dude,
which is
that
the most
catch
insane.
was unbelievable.
Not just the catch, but to get loose to throw it even.
Right,
Like all of
yeah.
it. Rodney
Getting
Harrison
tackled.
tackles him in the air, guy who's still probably feeling the effects of performance-enhancing drugs. I love that he just cheats and they're like, you can come back in 5 weeks or whatever it was.
Yeah.
He still got the fucking strength.
Yeah.
He still got the strength.
He still got the juice in him.
Man, I hated him.
But you also, I remember this because I feel like, I don't know how it was up in the Northeast, but it felt like the Giants were more of like America's team, like wanting to take down the juggernaut of the Patriots, because everybody like in the Midwest, if you were like a Patriots fan, you just fucking hate them because you're just a front runner.
Mm-hmm.
And you were ready for somebody to take them down because you don't want them to have a perfect season. I
We
feel
all know
like
those
everybody
front
was
runners.
rooting for, screaming hard for the
How
Giants.
about those fuckers who grow up who are like, they're like, who are your favorite teams? The Yankees, the Dolphins.
We got one back there.
Right there, the one shaking his
He
head.
likes
the Chicago Bulls. You're like,
Yeah.
what?
his favorite teams are the Chiefs, Ohio State, Yankees, right?
I don't like baseball, basketball, or hockey. I just like Chiefs. And
Yeah, but of those sports, if you were to pick teams, they would be the teams that won last.
Mhm.
no, I like the Predators.
Like he grew up.
Yeah, who just got a bunch of good players, and they're actually going to be really good this year.
They haven't played a game yet.
This year, they're going to be really good.
But he grows
They
up
might win it
outside of
this year, for
Philly.
real.
He's not a Philly fan.
Yeah, that's tough.
Not a Penn State guy.
I mean, it's tough because I have a friend like that. He was like he grew up in the Bay Area, and he was like a Kobe, Shaq, Lakers fan, and then he just started rooting for the Warriors. I'm like, so you just don't know pain? Is that your life?
Yeah, just
I hate
moving
people
on.
like, because you don't actually. I mean, part of it's a journey, and you get to feel the highs and lows with these teams you get behind. Like there's no there's no joy without the suffering. That's what being a real sports fan is. I mean, people would make fun of me for being a Knicks fan, so hardcore, but I best memories of my life, because it's not always about a championship. It's about being a fan. It's about following that team, and like the 90s Knicks where they were just fucking badasses, and Ewing and Oakley and Starks.
Dude, I grew up in the world of fair weather fans. I grew up in Arizona, and that might be the most fair weather fan state of all time.
But that's why, because you had like an awesome Suns team growing up.
Yeah, but everyone liked the Suns, and then weren't good. Then people dipped, and then 01 Diamondbacks win the World Series. All of a sudden, everyone's wearing Diamondback hats.
How about that World Series? That was crazy.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
Luis Gonzalez, all that.
Oh my God, that made me miserable, because I thought the Yankees were going to steal it. Byung-Hyun Kim. This motherfucker just keeps giving us meatballs. I'm like, are we just going to keep rattling this guy? I mean, it's crazy. I remember the Yankees had that guy from Japan, Hideki Irabu, and he hung himself because of the pressure in New York. I'm like, this is like some ancient samurai shit.
Himself?
He killed himself.
Ancient samurai shit.
Yeah.
Just bringing disgrace to his family.
He's like, oh, fuck. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Steinbrenner. No, he hung himself.
It is a fair weather fan state, man. It is crazy.
I can
so
see
all
that.
the pain you're talking about, I just don't. I don't know. I didn't really watch sports growing up at all.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy to me that you're a professional athlete and you didn't watch it. Because there are comics growing up who are just like, yeah, I never watched comedy. I'm like, you don't have you have no background. You just like telling jokes.
Yeah.
It was crazy to me that I talked to comics who like didn't know who Richard Pryor was or Chris Rock. They didn't know any Chris Rock's jokes or like, Dave Attell. I'm like, you don't know these guys?
And they just do comedy? Are they successful?
Some of them. Yeah. One of my friends who I'm actually like writing a show with was just like, I don't like comedy. I like The Simpsons and South Park. He just like shows. He didn't like stand up, but he was a fucking great stand up. He still is. The
whole Simpsons thing. I don't understand why it's so popular. Like I know
Really?
It's like an epic show, but like when I watch it, I'm entertained, but I'm not laughing my ass off.
Not even from like the first 10 seasons?
Dude, first 10 seasons, how long ago was that?
That's what I mean.
Ago, but it would always come on right after Sunday Night Football, right?
Yeah.
Well,
I feel like that's
where if we go back in the podcast, I wasn't watching Sunday Night Football.
That's right. It just felt like, the thing, I know my old man, like Sunday Night Football get done, Simpsons come on around, and you're just sitting around the couch
Old
watching
school Simpsons was great. I mean,
Yeah.
it was the first 10 seasons are like,
My wife is obsessed with it. It's a good show.
it's been
to
on
me.
for too long.
It's been out for a long time, but it's awesome. It's been out, and they what they're calling the future.
Certain things you got to let die, though. I think it's crazy to have a show go on for 35 years with the same cast. You run out of shit to do.
I mean, South Park,
true. We're getting 25 years, but they are at least doing other stuff too.
It seems like they're, and I don't know a whole lot. I do love South Park. I think it's really funny. They've been coming out with like hour shows, right?
Yeah.
And then kind of going over what's happened in the last like 18 months, and I love that.
I love
think
them.
those guys
Yeah.
are so
I think the
funny.
South Park movie is like one of the best movies of all time.
Didn't like the movie came out when I was like 8 years old, and I thought it was so cool because it set a record for curse words. And I was like, yeah, that's fucking awesome.
I know.
Yeah.
Could
Oh,
not tell
dude.
your parents.
No.
You got that one friend
You see
who can get it for
when,
whatever reason.
Who's the kid that always dies?
Kenny.
When Kenny starts going to heaven, all the boobs are there.
Yes.
Your 8-year-old self's like, hell yeah, dog. He goes to hell.
I loved
Hey,
it.
tell your
Dude.
boy, hey, you seen
I've
Team
never
America?
seen this
Have you
show, Team America. I've
It's
never
really
seen
good.
it.
You've never seen Team
No.
America? Oh, that's
Is it
good.
really that good?
Everything they make is good.
Everything.
Dude.
Yeah.
Book of Mormon's great.
You seen Basketball?
Yeah, I've seen
I love
Basketball.
Basketball.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That's such an underrated sports movie.
You want to know an underrated sports movie? Have you
Yeah.
seen Goon?
I love Goon. Yeah.
Goon is the most inspirational sports movie in my mind.
He's Taylor's
what
favorite
happened? What
sports
happened
movie.
to Sean William Scott? He's fucking great. Why isn't he in stuff?
I don't know. Role Models. When he was in Role Models, I thought he
Great.
was fantastic in that as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, all the American Pies, but
Oh,
this
yeah,
was
he
so
rocked.
good. Such a good movie.
Yeah, hockey movies. There's something about hockey movies too, like Slapshot's epic. It's something about like what you were talking about, how they're like badasses, but they're also like there's like the team element, but it's such a weird combo, be like graceful, but they'll fucking punch you in the face.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's such a weird.
I feel like they have their own jargon too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they have their own the way they talk. But Goon, I know people think it's a joke, but when Doug, the Thug Glatt, goes in and talks to Ross the Boss Ray in the diner,
Yeah,
and he has that thing about him laying him the fuck out, that's a Goosebumps moment.
yeah,
And they have the standoff in the center ice at the end when they're both in the box, and he knocks on the window, says, "You ready, kid?"
yeah.
And Doug's like, "Yes, thanks for asking." and they go out and just
Well, that's like
go to town.
That's what I mean. It's like they're savages, but it's kind of classy.
Yeah.
The way they're like, it's like, may I have this dance, but with breaking your face.
Right.
Romantic.
Yeah.
Even movies that aren't like comedies, like Miracle. You pop that thing.
That was
I watched
great.
that one like a week ago. Oh, have you seen this?
What's that?
Shorzy.
No.
This show
It's pretty good.
is elite. Shut up.
It is. I've seen. Haven't I watched a couple seasons?
You watched a couple episodes with me.
No. I went through. What else? What other TV show? Isn't it just Shorzy?
Shorzy, and there's Letterkenny as well.
Okay, yeah, I've seen Shorzy. I've seen 2 seasons of Shorzy.
This show, the guy who created
Come
the
on
show,
now,
his name's
bro.
Jared Kizo. He like is a producer, writer, director of the show, and he's also the main character who's Shorzy. He started off doing Letterkenny, that was a YouTube
I heard it's
show
amazing.
before. It's great, dude. And
Yeah.
Shorzy, I think I like it better than Letterkenny, and it's very hockey culture forward. This guy, before every game shits, between every period shits. It's a run-on sentence of jokes the whole time. It's really good.
Yeah, sports movies and shows are just kind of the best.
Yeah.
But you know
They really
what?
are.
Baseball ones too. Like you just can't miss with like Kevin Costner and like Bull Durham is so good. I love.
Bull Durham is a beautiful movie.
That's such a
Field of
funny
Dreams.
movie. It's classic.
Yeah. And boys for the back of the bus too. Taylor circled back around and remembered the Titans.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did. I've been going through a phase in life where I used to have a whole lot of opinions about movies. Like Fury was one of them. And I remember watching Fury with Brad Pitt.
Yeah, I never saw it.
It's really good. But I saw
Yeah.
it in theaters and I walked away from the movie not liking it. And then all the boys got on me. I went and watched it. I love that movie.
good.
And then we watched Remember the Titans all through high school because that's was the time. And then I kind of got burnt out and I was like, that movie kind of sucks. And I rewatched it on a flight and I'm like, this movie fucking rips.
It's like a song. Sometimes it's got to hit you at the right time,
Yeah.
or the right moment, right?
But I got to be big enough to know when I was wrong.
Oh, I love Major League.
I don't think I've even
Great
seen Major
sports
League.
movie.
Major League's fun, dude. Something about baseball. You know what else? Baseball players are so superstitious too. So there's so much fun shit you can do. Like, man, I've been on like a weird baseball kick of just like old books. I was just read like a Joe DiMaggio book. Now I'm reading like a Lou Gehrig book. It's something about that time in America where it was just all baseball.
Yeah.
And these guys were fucking crazy. I was reading this part about Joe DiMaggio where he's like this proud Italian, so he hated the mob, but the mob loved him because Italians love DiMaggio. So
Yeah.
they're at a restaurant one night and he's with like his friends and this like well-known gangster walks over to him and was like, "We'd like to pay our respects, Mr. DiMaggio." And he goes, "You may pay your respects standing." Basically being like, "Don't fucking sit with me."
No shit.
And his friends were like, "Dude, what are you doing? You're going to piss off the fucking mob." But they were like, "Oh, thank you so much, Mr. DiMaggio." So they like all came by one and just like shook his hand.
That is wild.
What a sign of respect.
I love how much of an encyclopedia you are with like sports.
Dude,
I
you can
love
tell he's
sports.
such a massive sport.
Yeah, you start
We
talking about
recapping
baseball and
the-
basketball, and I kind of just sit and smile because
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know shit about
Oh,
those
baseball.
sports.
This
He starts
era
bringing
was
up
so
the play. He
cool.
starts bringing up the players, the
Yeah.
Diamondbacks,
You
Yankees.
say, "Oh, this guy,
You
he's
just-
actually gorgeous." Blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah.
yeah.
Well,
talking about-
he's Marilyn Monroe, you know?
He took down Maryland.
Yeah, they were married. But then he
Oh, they
left
were
her.
married.
He left her because she couldn't procreate. And you know, Italians, they need a fucking heir.
Yeah.
You need an heir to
Maybe
the
that's
throne.
it.
Yeah, but then he blamed Robert Kennedy for killing her.
Robert Kennedy.
Yeah.
Really? Why is that?
Like
Tell us more.
there's theories that he was there when she died. Like there was another voice on the camera because John F. Kennedy and RFK, the rumors fucked her both.
They both did.
No, I don't think at the same time, but like
That'd be odd.
they passed her off,
Yeah.
you know, and
Really?
and she at the end was on drugs and stuff. So he like never forgave Sinatra for introducing her to all these fucking iconic Italians. He
Yeah,
never
that's
forgave
kind
Sinatra for
You're throwing
introducing
Sinatra in there?
Marilyn Monroe to the Kennedys. Because I think, you know, Sinatra was obsessed with political influence. So he
Mhm.
was like, okay, you introduce her to them, like in exchange, I get to know the Kennedys.
Yeah.
You know?
Get in more favor with them.
Yeah.
That is a wild deal.
Crazy. So he hated
It's a
them.
fun story.
That is
But,
a fun story.
Dark shit, right? But
Yeah.
he like to the end was in love with Marilyn Monroe. Never remarried. Maybe remarried at the end. I don't remember, but I know he died not married for sure.
That time, I just feel like a lot of shenanigans went down. That is just a big rumor mill. Like when we're 40 years from now, everyone's gonna know everything that happened in 2024.
You'll be
There's
able
like
to
too
fact
much
check a lot.
information.
You'll be able
Yeah.
to fact check a lot more. Yeah.
But we get to sit and look back at these times and be like, I heard this, I heard
I
that.
know.
Now there'll be a video to prove you wrong or right in 40 years about what happened.
Yeah.
Where we're sitting
the old
right
stories
now.
you just get to build up as legend.
Yeah. Like Sinatra. I heard Sinatra was an asshole.
Right.
Manic depressive.
Was he?
Yeah.
I should know that. I have them tattooed on my body.
Do you really?
Yeah, it's on my hands. There's a mugshot right there.
Oh shit! I didn't see
I
that.
also got Maryland too, and I don't know shit about Maryland Monroe.
What was the urge to get those?
I don't know. I really don't. But I just
Was it
think-
like a drunk decision, or you just were like,
No,
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 until
no,
he gets
no.
something in his brain. Done.
Yeah. Most of my
Happens.
tattoos don't actually. I think like 1 or 2 tattoos even have meaning at all. But I just thought Sinatra's pretty cool.
yeah?
I'm gonna get that. Marilyn Monroe. I'm gonna get that. I got Clint Eastwood from The Good, the Bad, the Ugly right here.
Oh, that's a
I
badass
got Johnny
movie.
Cash on my shoulder at Folsom Prison, giving the finger.
You got a lot of cool dudes on you.
Yeah. And I'm hoping it rubs off eventually. You know. But yeah,
Dude,
I have a stag on my chest. I've never shot a deer. I just got a bunch of shit, man.
You got Eastwood, Sinatra. Who's the other one?
Monroe and Cash.
Cash. That's cool.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Got any yourself?
No, I don't have any tattoos.
Would you ever get any?
Probably not. I don't know why. There's that Jewish thing about you can't be in a Jewish. I'm not even religious, but as a kid, you never just have shit jammed
Back
in
of
your
your
head.
head, yeah.
Yeah. So I was just like, I don't want to. But I am turned on when I see a chick with a lot of tattoos because I'm like, she made some bad decisions, you know?
Yeah, that was my thing in college.
like- she
Chicks
seems
covered
like a
in
freak.
tattoos, smoking cigarettes.
Yeah.
Maybe had gauges.
Yeah. Oh, I don't like the gauges.
You don't like the
Those
gauges?
freak me out.
Not like big boys.
Oh, okay. Like
But
little
you-
ones.
Yeah, fit a pencil through it.
All right. Nah, it's not my thing.
All right.
You're a
But the-
freaky little boy.
I got some shit to do.
Gauges?
Yeah, I was kind of into those emo girls for a minute.
You were kind of into MGK's all black arm tattoos too.
No, I said for his body style, it fits.
You
That's
like, wait, what kind of girls?
No, I liked they kind of like the emo like tattoos.
I like
darker
damaged
hair.
women. I think when I sense damage, I'm kind of like turned on.
Yeah, there's something to them.
Effort, you feel like you can fix them or help them a little bit.
I just assume they have more depth. I think they're like, I'm like, she probably is interesting if she's damaged, but then you get to meet him and you're like, no, she's just a sad, fucking miserable person.
That's a tough deal.
There's
yeah.
not, it doesn't mean there's more depth. It just means they're unhappy and you know, toxic. But I always attributed like, wow, she's miserable. She must fucking get it, dude.
It was a mysterious thing for me.
Yeah,
Like,
it must
what's different about them, man?
But I think a lot of people connect through pain
Mm-hmm.
because like you're just like someone's like, oh, I'm fucked up. You feel closer to them if they tell you how fucked up they are. But
Right.
it's like you realize later, like, no, she just tells it to everybody. She's just fucked up,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
But in the moment, you're like, wow, she must like really feel connected.
Just
to me.
confiding in me.
No, she doesn't want to spend money on a therapist. She uses guys like me.
Talk your ear off.
Yeah.
Don't sleep with you.
Yeah,
And you're like, I'll be back.
but I'll
I'll get her
jerk
next
off.
time.
I'll jerk off to that trauma later.
No question.
I'm gonna put it right here, and I'm fucking rub one out to how sad she is.
Yeah, the tattoos always kind of got me for whatever reason.
Just like not too much, but like a little bit, like a hint.
no.
Yeah, what's
No.
going on there? That looks like, what do you call them though? That doesn't look like a tattoo. That looks like when people,
Henna?
what is it?
Henna?
Like a fake tattoo?
No, but like
A
when people,
birthmark?
No, when people have those like things on their body that they can't. I don't know what they're called.
Skin tag.
Skin tags. That's what it looks like. It doesn't look like an ego on the thing. I don't need to fuck a girl who looks like Conor McGregor. You know, I don't. It's too much. This is ridiculous.
That's probably the sluttiest placement for a tattoo.
I don't care for it. I remember I dated a girl. She had her ex's signature tattooed on her back, and I was like, I mean, I don't.
Ex's signature.
Yeah, I don't love that.
Oh, that's brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We getting grouped.
I dated a girl in high school, and I got her initials tattooed on my side.
Wow.
And she came and visited me in college before she broke up with me, and she had my initials tattooed
Whoa.
right here.
Ooh,
Yeah, that was a tough L for her. But she broke up with me.
property.
She has to date. She has to date a dude with your initials.
Yeah, my initials are TCL too, so tickle.
Damn.
Nice little area.
Oh, she threw the middle initial in there too.
Oh yeah, it was a full my initials.
Damn.
And I saw her 4 years later. Had the opportunity to see that area.
Again.
Yeah, and
You hooked up with her again.
Oh, come on, bro.
Yeah,
I was kind of
nice.
out there. Thank you for noticing.
Yeah.
And she got it lasered off, but there was a faint. If you look close enough, a faint TCL right there. And I
Her
was
next boyfriend's gonna
That's all
break
you
out a
needed.
I think she's
magnifying
married
glass
with a
and be
kid
like,
now.
"What the fuck?"
like, yeah, what is this? Yeah, I have her initials crossed out now, and my wife's tattooed under. But I like shitty tattoos too. I don't know. I'm talking to two guys that don't have any tattoos about tattoos.
What? Yeah. What kind of shitty tattoo?
It's just I think there's like, if you have
tribal.
I think tribal. I have like tribal on my side that my wife took like this big, like a gauge like this big and put a red X through it and then put sick tribal, bro. And I just think if you look at someone with all great tattoos, it's like there's no like kind of like the girl that says she's fucked up. Like there's no damage there. There's no like you can see the maturity. If everyone has, if I like to see a couple shitty tattoos, and then you start to see, oh, this is where they would start to go to quality artists and have actual good ideas.
Yeah,
that's a shitty
bad
tattoo.
one.
That's a bad one.
It's a really bad one.
That's a tough one.
But that's a really bad one.
That's one
like,
that's a horrible mistake. That's not one you want.
It's like he's like he got to deal with Nike, but it was like a fucking offshoot. It's
Yeah,
like not the actual one. I mean, Jar Jar Binks.
You get that tattoo?
No,
You're not getting in the
dude's like,
temple.
I'm so fucked up. He's like, what do you want? Jar Jar Binks.
Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah.
Top to bottom, trap to
Yeah.
ass. Let me
Give me,
get that.
give me a Fupa Yoda tattoo.
Look at the what is that? The Batman one on the far left.
That's awful. That's like Adam West Batman too. That's like an old dude right there. Damn.
Looks like Barnacle Boy.
Yeah, it's like even when I've gotten to the mindset of possibly getting a tattoo, it's like I've gone this long. Like why?
What would you get? What
I have
in?
no clue. It'd be something around a wolf.
It has to be.
Has to be.
A
It'd be
wolf.
something around a wolf.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Now that's low key kind of badass.
I kind of like that one actually.
Yeah.
Yoda in a North Face.
Yeah,
This is fucking
yeah.
Spanish Harlem Yoda. I like that one. That's a good one.
Bussin' with the Boys is sponsored by Hustle Butter, the best way to care for your tattoos, new or old. Whether you're fresh out of the chair or just looking to maintain your favorite ink, Hustle Butter has you covered. This stuff isn't about just keeping your tattoos looking vibrant, which it does. It's also about keeping your skin soft and smooth. Hustle Butter products keep skin moisturized and tattoos vibrant so they can look and feel their best for life.
That is correct, Will Compton. And a man who has plenty of tattoos on his body knows that 3 to 4 years after you have those boys done, it starts to fade. It starts to get away from you a little bit. With these bad boys, you put this lotion on your skin, you put these different products on your skin, and all of a sudden these tattoos are popping, looking like they're fresh, just done. Just a few weeks ago. It feels amazing. Plus, the scent is seriously amazing. It smells like a literal tropical vacation. We worked with Hustle Butter to get you guys an exclusive discount. And right now, 15% off your order on their websites. Use code BUSSIN15 on hustlebutter.com. I'm going to say that one more time for you guys. That is Bussin, BUSSIN 15 on hustlebutter.com. Exclusions apply. Do not wait. At Hustle Butter, real never fades. Head over to hustlebutter.com and use code BUSSIN15 for 15% off your first order. Back to the episode.
Yeah, so, you know what? Yoda's kind of fun. That's like a little wise.
Are you a Star Wars guy?
I like the 70s and 80s. I like the first
The
three a
originals?
lot.
Yeah.
I didn't love the new ones except for the one where everyone died. That was cool.
I haven't seen them.
Are you talking about where he goes to turns into Darth Vader and he kills all the kids?
No, the one where was it Rogue One? Was that the one?
Yes, sir.
That was fucking good.
Oh yeah.
That was the only new one that was good. The rest are, you know what my problem with these sequels are? They're just telling the exact same fucking story. They're telling the same story as Luke, but with her.
Right.
And I didn't like that she fucks up Adam Driver's guy in the first one. I'm like, she's been a Jedi for like 2 minutes. She's fucking up the bad guy already. I don't know. I think the new ones kind of are like whatever, but like the old school ones are pretty good. I gotta say.
Do you see yourself siding with more like that older style of movies, or do you like the newer ones better?
I love old movies because when you have less options to do like a CGI type thing, you have to have a better script.
Mm-hmm.
I also think they just used to make more movies. Now it's like, think about the landscape entertainment. You got TV shows. You got like TV shows are better than movies now, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But like back in the day, like you look at like the movies from like the late 60s, early 70s in Hollywood, they're fucking insane. Like so many classics. So yeah, I have like a movie room in my place. I'm an old school. I like watching it, like put everything away. Let's like actually take this in.
I love movies. I love
Me
sitting
too.
down and watching movies, but I hate if you're in your living room and you sit and watch a movie with somebody and they're on their phone.
I hate it.
It bothers the shit out of me for whatever
I'd
reason.
rather you be on your phone while you're fucking me. Because at least then I'm still getting laid.
Right.
You're ruining my enjoyment
Right,
of the
'cause
movie.
you want to sit
Especially
there and
for
whisper
both
something,
Right.
and maybe they ask you a question, or there's some sort of dialogue in the middle of it where you guys are both invested into the storyline.
Or if you're trying
Yeah.
to kind of put them on the movie
Mhm.
and you're just thinking like, yo, you are missing great dialogue.
I'll-
And you see him on the side of your eye and you're just thinking, you fucking bitch.
I'll tell you what a good moment was. We went and saw on Father's Day. We went and saw the new Planet of the Apes, and I'm not well versed. I maybe saw like the first one that came. Not
They're pretty good.
The
though.
ones that came out in the
They are.
2000s.
The new
yeah.
ones are really good.
And before Will's like kind of putting me on the plots of what happened. Caesar, he's gone now. This is in the way future, blah, blah, blah. And it was nice. Both phones off. Big thing of popcorn to share and some candy. And he's like whispering it over, telling me small little things about like this, the medallion he's wearing is because of X, Y, and Z, because that was the house he used to look at him. That's awesome.
Yeah, have you seen the Kingdom of the new one?
I haven't. I heard it's great.
But you've seen the other two, correct?
I saw the Rise of the Planet of the Apes. I'm trying to think which ones I've seen.
Is that the one with what's his name?
Franco?
James Franco? You
Yeah,
saw
that was
one?
good. I liked it. And I saw most of the other one. They're on TV all the time, so I'll just like check in.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've ever seen it start to finish. But yeah, the one with that actor who's really good, that guy who played Jerry West on Showtime. You know what I'm talking about? No, he's in Oppenheimer too. You know what I'm talking about?
Cillian Murphy?
No, I don't know. I don't know his fucking name, but he's a really good actor. I like movies where they have a big budget, but they actually have a good story too. Like
Yeah.
I'm so sick of superhero movies. Like they serve their purpose. There's some great ones, but like this one is like an actual like. It's kind of interesting, I think.
Dude, so the James Franco one, the house that James Franco and Caesar were in.
Yeah.
The window that Caesar would look out.
Yeah.
The way the window was designed was the medallion in Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. So the callback, because Caesar's kind of seen like what, biblically?
He's like God.
Yeah, he's like Jesus in this newer one. But they have this sick callback, and I'm like whispering over to Taylor, I'm like, hey, so this dude who's got this necklace around, like that was the window design back in the first one.
Genre as a movie. What's your number one genre?
I like film noir. I like a good detective movie or like
Yeah?
a good thriller. I like man, I love. There's so many movies I like, but damn, I'm trying to think. Like, I love that age, just like the '70s when it was like prime Nicholson, or like, you know, like certain movies at any time they're on, I have to watch. Like for modern shit, like any Tarantino movie really, or like Coen Brothers, or like
Tarantino's awesome.
I love them. But yeah, like '70s, yeah, Chinatown rules. I love Polanski's incredible. I know he fucked a 15-year-old, but he's a damn fine filmmaker. Let's give credit where
He's
credit's
a great
due.
actor, yeah.
He shouldn't have done that, but like I also just love like the history of this stuff. So like I love that this movie was supposed to have a happy ending, but Polanski's wife Sharon Tate was murdered in the Manson murders, and he was like, "Nah, there's no happy endings here," and he changed the ending, and it like worked.
I love that
because he believed that shit. I love those movies. Godfather's amazing. All that whole Dog Day Afternoon, like that movie fucks me up. I think it's like perfect. You know, I love those.
We should do a little
I used
tear
to have
talk.
a, I used to have a joke. I used to have
but
a
I'm
joke
nervous about
about Dog Day Afternoon. I used to have a bit about it because I was watching it with a girl I was dating, and she tried to fuck me during the movie, and I was like, "What are you doing?" And she goes, "Oh, you don't want to have sex with me?" And I was like, "I'll fuck you during a movie you pick." You know,
yeah.
I want you to see this movie because it's
You
important
gotta
to
watch
me.
this
I'm
movie.
sharing you with this movie. Yeah,
You know what? This isn't gonna work.
yeah. Sorry, I cut you guys off on something.
No, I love the fact that you're just diving into the things you love. That's
All right.
beautiful. Tear talk.
Tier talk. The idea of tier talk, we were gonna do. It's a tier system. You can start at 3, you work all the way up to 1, and every one that you choose, there's got to be a rhyme or reason. You give a good description of why it is in your top 3.
Okay.
The idea we had was to do what was it? True Detective.
Like detective movies.
Yeah, detective movies.
Yeah.
It makes me kind of nervous because he's so
Yeah.
well
He
versed.
knows his shit.
Yeah, he knows
Yeah,
his shit.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, there's a lot of good ones.
Yeah, we usually take a few minutes to figure out what our list is.
So you start at 3. You
can
give
3 detective movies.
3
Like your
detective
top
movies.
Okay. Damn. So can it be like a murder mystery? Or it has to be a detective.
Murder mystery.
Murder mystery is good.
Okay.
Yeah. Any type of noir.
All right. If it's any type of noir, I don't want to hit you with only ones from like the 40s or 50s, but I have a weird hard on for that era because
you can do that absolutely. We'll just smile and nod.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was oh wow, no
this
shit.
is your truth.
I
Yeah.
feel like everyone
This is the most
naturally
nervous
is.
I've been in.
I'm a little nervous too.
this is a judgment-free zone, dude. You
No,
like
dude.
this. You like what you like, and I'm excited. I'm excited to hear.
All right, go first, Will.
All right. I would say my tier 3.
So this is your least favorite of the 3.
Of the 3.
Okay.
Top 3.
Third
Top
place.
3. Third
Okay.
place. My third place is going to be.
Hold on. One thing about Tear Talk you should know is we keep completely silent until he's finished, and then we all go around the room and give one word to describe how we feel about that person's list.
Okay.
Go on.
All right, my tier 3. Gone Girl. That would count, yeah? Boys in the Back. That was sure. That's good. That's good
Just
to
go
go
on.
All right.
Tier 3.
That's my tier 3. Love Gone Girl. Saw it in theaters. I've watched it a few more times since then. I'm a big fan of that movie. My tier 2, Prisoners, with Jake Gyllenhaal, Hugh Jackman, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And my tier 1 is going to be I feel Knives Out. Big fan of Knives Out. Saw it on Christmas when I was out with the Oakland Raiders. When Charles came out, proposed to her that week as well. It was a big kind of week for us. But Knives Out, we thoroughly enjoyed. That is my tier talk. You feel me? I'm standing on business.
Sam, go ahead and give us one word.
Good.
Close.
What you got, glass onion?
Business.
Fire.
All right.
Oh, fuck. This is Jared's first day.
You're not gonna like mine either. Basic.
Yeah, I did feel
do
basic.
like those movies though a lot, but yeah, Knives Out at 1 is that one's. I don't know.
I thought it was one word. That was like a whole explanation. Right
Yeah,
there.
yeah, I mean, sometimes the boys get nervous around Will. All right. I have a very rare 2 honorable mentions. One of those honorable mentions is Knives Out. I think it's a phenomenal movie. The layers, the depth. The guy who played James Bond, I don't even know his name, comes in. He knows who the killer is the entire time just because of one little splat on the shoe. But yet you go through the entire plot. I think it's phenomenal.
I hate to interrupt you. May I throw out an honorable mention?
No.
7. You ever seen 7?
It's phenomenal.
Great movie.
He went two of the same director. He went with him.
What's that?
Gone Girl and
Yeah.
Seven.
Oh, it's the same person?
Same director.
Looks like you found your director.
I almost went glass onion in there with Knives Out.
Another honorable mention I have is The Nice Guys.
Ooh,
With Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling. That movie, I love.
it's one of my faves.
That type of humor where it's like he's a drunk, but he stumbles upon the answer somehow. Like, it's just a really well done movie. Russell Crowe at first doesn't like Gosling. They actually don't like each other the whole entire movie, but they end up working together. I think it's a movie that makes you smile, and everyone who listens to the show knows like I have like a weird thing for the 70s.
I've watched it like 12 times.
It's a phenomenal movie,
love it.
and I
I've
love how
never
you're
seen
breaking the rule. You guys are breaking the rules and not
I'm
saying anything.
sorry.
But all the words of affirmation that we talked about earlier,
Yeah.
you filled me.
All right.
No diddy. My tier 3 is going to go to Shutter Island
Wow.
with Leonardo DiCaprio. That movie, I feel like when we talk about these types of movies, literally googling what Noir, is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
Googling what that means before we started this. Like, it just seems like these are movies with like certain levels of depth. There are certain levels of layers that you have to get through. And that movie is incredible for a lot of reasons, but especially the ending, where the last couple of lines that Leonardo DiCaprio has, where you're like, does he get it? Does he not? And it's just like, then he walks off and it's over. I think it's such a beautiful ending to a movie.
Poetic.
It is. My tier 2 is going to go to one of my favorite directors, Quentin Tarantino. That's Reservoir Dogs. I think that's a great movie. We all know that movie. It is. It's a phenomenal film. And then my tier 1 is actually Prisoners. I think Prisoners. That movie is so good. The plot twist at the end. It's just awesome. And that is my very rare double honorable mention tier talk.
Unoriginal.
Well versed.
I like the range. I broke the rules here, but I like the range of the picks.
Range.
Range.
Front loaded. That.
Hyphenated above average.
Not what I expected. Not what I
was
expected.
just
You guys love Prisoners.
I do. I think that movie's so good.
I think it's awesome. I actually just watched it like in November because I was flying to Australia and it was on the. I was more emotional when I watched it because of the flight. I was like, I'm gonna have to knock myself out after this movie.
Mhm.
So I was drinking wine and I popped a muscle relaxer. So I was like extra like, oh my God, just sitting watching this. Like this is such a fucked up movie to feel relaxed for.
Yeah.
You know, because it's so dark and
So dark.
but it's really man, I feel like he does a lot of like song and dance type stuff when he's not Wolverine, so it's cool to see him play like a pure just heavy.
right.
And that neck tattoo on Gyllenhaal, holy shit.
It's a great movie.
The what?
Denis Villeneuve.
Oh, yeah, that's who did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did Prisoners.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
really?
really good.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, the scene in the bathroom too is
I don't think I've ever heard anyone
Insane.
pronounce his name right. That's why I was like, oh shit.
It took me a couple searches.
Yeah.
I take it Prisoners is not going to be on your list.
No, but I like it.
Honorable mention it,
I'm
dude.
old school, so all right.
I've never seen Nice Guys.
Nice Guys
Sounds
is
like
a
I need to watch
phenomenal
that. Sounds
film.
like I need to watch
Shane
that.
Black, who wrote Lethal Weapon,
Mhm.
that guy, he wrote and directed this. He also did another one called Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. That's also hilarious.
Love the title, never seen it.
Solid.
It's like if you like Nice Guys, you'll like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. It's like that type of vibe, but it's Downey Jr. and Val Kilmer as like
Mhm.
the two guys who can't get along. It's fucking great.
But it's similar the way they act towards each other.
Yeah, it's like because that's like a buddy comedy and a noir and one.
Yeah.
I fucking love that. I love Nice Guys makes me laugh so hard, dude.
It's awesome.
I saw it in the theater with my ex-girlfriend and my mom, and they both were like, and I was like, "You're fucking ruining this for me. This is a
Yeah.
good movie. Pretend."
Pretend. You take your movie watching very serious. I respect.
I mean, I would never want to influence someone else's. I remember seeing a movie with an ex of mine once, and she hated it so much that I was like, "Do you want to walk out?" And she goes, "No." I'm like, "Well, I feel how angry you are, so you're." I know that you hate this movie. It's funny. My friend's in the movie. Do you know Simon Rex?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who?
Dirt Nasty.
He's in a movie
Alright.
called Red Rocket. It's a really good movie, but she hated it so much because he's such a fucking horrible person in this. He plays just like a guy who's grooming a minor. It's a dark movie. But
Shane actually. Go ahead. Sorry.
oh, and Shane is friends with him too. But I love Simon, and he's amazing in this movie. And I remember she was just like, "Oh, I hate this," and I was like, "Why don't we leave?" And she goes, "Well, then you're just gonna finish it without me sometime." I'm like, "That's not allowed."
Yeah, that's crazy.
So she was pissed. So then she was like, "No, let's stay." And I was like, "All right." And at the end, she was like, "Oh, I hated that." And I was like, "Okay." And she's like, "You liked it?" And I'm like, "Is this worth the fight?" In my head,
Yeah.
I'm like, "Do I stand up for my beliefs?" And you're damn right I did. I ruined a vacation with an argument over a movie that doesn't matter, but I did it.
Stood on business.
I stood on business.
I thought you were going to bend the knee for sure.
Shane,
No.
So Simon Rex. Shane sent me an incredible fart by Simon Rex.
It's amazing that he's like this. He's this great actor, but he will voice memo farts.
Hey, dude, real quick.
What the fuck?
That's not
Oh,
real.
hey, it's not over. That's a good dirt bike voice.
No way. Oh my god.
Dude, that was like a Godfather 3 level fart. What the hell?
Dude, his surprise.
That was like Mariah Carey holding a note.
Oh my. Yeah.
That was insane. No,
Was that not one of the best farts you've ever heard in your
one of
life?
the best I've ever heard.
He's legit.
had so many different noises.
Yeah.
No, he's
No
no
way.
way.
I love Simon.
I love him too.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go. So I'm gonna hit you with honorable mention. I'm gonna hit you with honorable mention Chinatown, just because like it's slow. It's a '70s movie. You just got to know that going in. But like, dude, it's prime Jack Nicholson just being a badass. Faye Dunaway is really hot in it. It's classic. Yeah, it's a dark ass neo noir. Gotta love it. I want to say ones that you guys didn't mention. So I'll say 3. You're gonna hate me for these. I will. You know what? Fuck it. Tier 3 Fargo. You should see it. It's great. That's a great fucking movie. Love the Coen brothers. Lebowski's kind of a noir too. It's that Lebowski. A lot of people don't know this. Is actually The Big Sleep, with like Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall. So it's like an old noir that Raymond Chandler wrote. That's The Big Lebowski. They just made it about a fucking burnout instead of a cool detective. So that's but yeah, Fargo's killer. 2, I'm going this. It's an old movie. It's called Out of the Past with Robert Mitchum, who's like the ultimate badass. You know, just a really cool movie about a guy who like lived a bad life and was like a kind of a henchman for Kirk Douglas, and he was and then he's trying to get away from that life. Works at a gas station. One of the goons sees him working the gas station. He thought he got away, and he gets drawn back into that life. It's an awesome movie. And Tier 1, and this could easily be Tier 1, by the way. Tier 1 is another really old one, but stay with me. These movies hold the fuck up. Double Indemnity. It's Edward G. Robinson, Fred McMurray, Barbara Stanwyck, who's like an evil, she basically convinces an insurance salesman to murder her husband, and like how they can get away with it and get the most possible money is double indemnity. So if he has the most, she buys life insurance on his life, and if he has this really improbable death, you get double indemnity. So if he dies by falling off of a train, so they have to kill him first and then throw him off a train to make it look like he did. But there's this one Edward G. Robinson, this one insurance guy who's like, something doesn't sit right about this with me. It's really fucking good. It's like a 90-minute movie, not a wasted word. One of the best movies I've ever seen. I just saw it. It was playing in a movie theater in New York City, like one of those old movie theaters. Fucking beautiful experience. Brought my girlfriend and a friend of mine. They were both like, damn, that was pretty damn good. And it's getting laughs because it's like those 1940s how men would talk to women laughs, where she's like, oh, I'm scared. And he goes, baby, shut up. Like just getting huge pops in the theater. It's really witty and funny dialogue too. Like you'd watch this and be like, damn, this is well done. So yeah, that's my list right there.
Clueless.
Nice.
Classic.
Cultured.
Impressive.
Authentic.
You guys are such bitches, dude. You guys want to do twisted question?
You got one, Mitch?
Yeah.
Buckle up. This is a twisted question brought to us by Twisted Tea. Refreshing, cold, zero carbonation, so it goes down smooth. Perfect for tailgates. It's 5% ABV, 5% alcohol. It's great for any occasion, whether you're at home watching games, watching the Giants, tailgating in a parking lot, watching at a bar, watching with friends at home. Keep it twisted with the boys. Turn up your game day with Twisted Tea. Grab a refreshing Twisted Tea today, anywhere. Mitch, what is our twisted question for Sam?
This comes from Brandon Peck, bpeck16 on Instagram. If you could only eat one food from one culture for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Can I just pick sandwiches?
Pizza.
No, it's like that's not culture. That's just a type of food.
What do you mean?
Like
Like
Japanese,
something
Mexican.
You could say like
American,
Vietnamese
Italian.
sandwiches, which is actually, that's a good call.
Oh, so
Vietnamese?
just one genre of food?
Those sandwiches are
know.
fucking good.
Sandwiches is the answer to every, like, if you
Asian.
eat one food for the rest of your life.
Asian food.
Asian.
Is that what you're getting Chinese, Thai,
Yeah,
Japanese,
Chinese. Yeah, you get
General
it all,
Tso's,
Indian?
Panda Express.
right? Just say Asian fusion.
That's good.
You get to dip your toe in pretty much all of them.
Yeah, I guess I'll just do that. I mean, I'm thinking.
It feels like we're cheating here.
Yeah, it does feel like we're cheating.
All right, fine. Do you get tummy aches?
It's just whatever. Yeah. Yes.
All right.
It's real life still. Just the genre.
But there's healthy foods in every culture, probably, right?
Yeah.
Is there a healthy Italian food?
No.
I think I'm in the minority of. I'm not a huge fan of Italian cuisine.
Bro, you gotta go to Italy, bro.
I'm not a huge fan. I like pizza.
You always got that. You always get that dude, that friend that's been to Italy. That's like, you gotta go to Italy and try their food.
Trust me, dude. You eat what you eat here. When I go to Italy, I don't even gain a pound. I eat bread every single day. Those guys.
Yes.
Yeah, but
I'm
you're
one of
also
them.
you're walking everywhere. That's why.
Yeah.
That's what they're like. I didn't gain a pound. You walked 8 miles
To do anything.
every day. Yeah.
It's that or a
The
Vespa
cuisine is
scooter.
good though.
Oh, I love Italian food. I've never been to
A
Italy,
lot of
though.
I know I'm in a very small minority in that.
Yeah.
I'm just not a huge fan of Italian food.
Man, what would I do?
Let me go American.
I might go Greek, dude, because that's healthy. You have options that are really good, but then you also are like, I could eat Mediterranean diet. Those dudes live forever. You see old
That's a
men
good
in
point.
like in
That's
those
what you're
Greek
right.
islands. They're like tan and 92 years old and still like climbing hills and shit.
Yeah.
And you can have like grilled octopus all the time. That shit's so good. You could have a kebab.
You bring up a very good point with Mediterranean.
It's heart healthy, dude.
Yeah.
Heart healthy. Look at the facial hair on that guy.
But that dude's probably 102. Look at him.
Yeah.
He's living well. And they have that good Greek liquor too, that like mastika. You have a little after dinner drink, you feel digest. It's nice shit.
It's nice shit. You're gonna like this. Nice shit.
No, I went there last year and I was like, I never take vacations. I never take time off.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like in London and doing a gig, and my girlfriend's like, please, can we just take some time off? So like, all right, we went to Greece. Great food, great time.
Are you a
like
Game
that.
of Thrones fan?
I've never seen an episode.
Because they shot a lot of it out there in Greece. I'm trying to get out there and see it. See
Greece
the
is-
castles.
Yeah.
Is that your top show?
Man, the last season was
It was
not the
rough?
greatest. I would say Breaking Bad is my number one
That's
show.
a great one.
But Game of Thrones is up there. Like now I'm watching House of Dragon. Incredible show.
I should watch Game of Thrones. I'm such a bitch. I should really.
I'm told you should watch House of Dragons first, though.
Really?
Yeah, because it's before.
But it's not all the way done. Like it's current. It's in season 2 right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, the way as much of a film junkie as you are, you would love Game of Thrones.
I've heard that. I got it.
You would love Game of
Problem
Thrones.
is the last season was everyone's like, you haven't seen it, and then every week they'd be like, what the fuck? This
Yeah.
episode sucked.
But here's where you're in a good spot. You get to binge it all in succession, like right away. The problem was we watched all 7 seasons, right?
Right.
And the 8th season took 2 years. And since the book wasn't written, they kind of just, put some more Hollywood into it. But the spot that you're in, you get to watch it all back to back. Because we're sitting there in those 2 years. I remember being at Vandy every day doing workouts, talking with Rex about what was on this message board? What could this callback be? You're building all these different moments in your head. So it was just a big letdown when season 8 finally happened.
Yeah.
But you're in a good spot because you just get to watch it all. And you'll probably enjoy it. Because
Yeah.
people who waited until after it all came out and then watched it, they've all really liked it. But you would fuck with Game of Thrones heavy, and then you'll probably go back to Greece.
I'm in the same boat as you. I've only seen like 2 episodes, and there were so many storylines, and everyone was so far ahead of me. I was like, it's just not worth
It's such a massive chess
getting
game,
into it.
Yeah.
but it's fun. I think it's so worth it.
That's how I felt about The Wire early on. It took me. I'm like, wow, there's a lot going on, but it ends up being rewarding as hell.
I was
I'm
gonna
gonna
say
watch that
The
too.
Wire's like a top 10 TV show
I
of all
love
time.
it,
I've
yeah.
never seen that,
It's really good.
and that's how like Game of Thrones is like that. You got to kind of give it a good 2 full seasons.
I gotta watch this. I feel like an idiot for not seeing.
Yeah, you'd
this.
mess with it. And then you got House of Dragons, kind of dated like a century before Game of Thrones, but that's really good.
Sure, can you pop up some food genres for me?
Can I piss real quick? I'm
Absolutely,
dying here.
bro.
Do whatever you want.
Yeah, do what you got to do. I might just go Italian so I can just have pizza.
You eat pizza every day.
Yeah, but
There's more than it's just pizza.
Yeah, but he's saying I want to go Italian so I can have pizza.
Just so it's an option.
right, just so I have that as an option. It's like if I got to eat one thing for the rest of my life, if I'm trying to be happy, I think I'm going to go Italian.
That's what I think.
Chinese you get old with very fast, even though it's a great once a month.
Yeah, but Japanese.
Yeah, I was gonna say Japanese.
Japanese
is
where I
solid.
keep going in my head. 'Cause I love
Japanese
sushi.
solid. Yeah, you get sushi. That would be a great pull.
Yeah.
Japanese would be a great pull.
What would be the word for that? Like the food categories of like a culture,
Genres.
Food genres.
genres.
Food culture genres.
Culinary.
And you got to see
Just
nice
start saying words that.
You've got to see Nice Guys.
No, I feel that
It's
way when he said I've
such a
seen it
good
15
movie.
times, and the way you talk about it,
I'm upset it's not higher on my list, honestly.
dude, I just felt so because every one of those movies I've only seen. You see it like it's one of those areas where you just kind of watch the movie one time.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't sit there and recall all the things that were happening.
Because
But I
those
remember
serious movies are
how
tough to
Prisoners made
watch.
me feel.
Yeah.
I'm gonna scroll
Knives
through
Out.
these, Taylor.
Japanese cuisine.
Oh,
Like,
look,
what
you
is-
get
what
how
is
you get
French?
French fries. How you get that?
French.
Oh, French
in
cuisine.
the name.
I thought that was part of the Japanese.
Italian.
Yeah, I think I'm going. He brought up a
But
good one with
Spanish
Greek.
too, dude. I love
Oh,
me some
that's-
Mexican food. That's probably what I'm gonna go is Spanish.
Well,
Mexican
those
food.
two are different.
Yes,
though.
yeah.
Spanish
Oh, they're different?
And, Spanish and Mexican are two different.
I'll go Mexican then.
Spanish is like tapas and little appetizers type.
Yeah.
That's not gonna fill my belly. I need that. You go fajitas when you want to be healthy. You getting feeling a little nasty. Get those enchiladas.
Man, Mexican is a great call.
That's how we went Mexican. Called it. You can't take it.
I'm going Mexican too.
Can't.
Indian is a sleeper. Do y'all like
What?
Indian food?
Indian food I like, but again, to me it mixes more in the Chinese, but a step below.
Yeah, it's good.
No, for me,
I think Indian's better than Chinese, but I see what you mean.
it's a no for me.
Like some chicken tikka marsala. Come on now.
Or some
In the naan.
I'll get you on some lamb vindaloo, spicy lamb.
You want a spot you need to check out is Hawkers.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's really good.
It's a chain.
Have you eaten there yet, Sherm?
No,
You
have
need to
not.
get Hawkers. The street food.
So good.
So good. I think we settled on I'm going Italian, so that way I have the option of eating pizza.
That's big.
I'm going Mexican.
If I'm eating it for the rest
Damn,
of my
Mexican's
life,
a good call.
Thanks, man.
no, I thought so too.
Fuck. Because you can be kind of healthy with Mexican
Yeah.
You
too.
good. Fajitas whenever you want, and you're feeling a little nasty, you go enchiladas.
Or even
Yeah.
if you want to
Tacos.
tacos,
Quesadillas.
burrito bowls,
Cheese crisps.
bottomless chips and salsa. I think I'm going Mexican.
What,
Damn.
Sorry, I want to join you. You brought up a good point.
I'm
Part of
staying
me was
Greek.
one. Part of me was going to. It's like yeah, if you
Staying
want to
Greek
live
over
long-
Mexican?
I love you get a lot of options with the Greeks. I feel like there's a lot of diversity with that type of menu.
Greek salads.
I'm not a cultured man.
I don't
Greek
think
salads, gyros. What else?
Yeah, that might be it. I might be fucked.
All
All right, maybe I might go Mexican. Mexican's
Hey,
good.
And the good news is, if all of us picking that genre, we all get to eat together every day.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Like everyone's got to go to their specific spots. We get to sit at the lunch table together.
Mexican is like probably what I eat the most. Actually, probably.
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
And to me, Mexican is also like an easy default. Like if you don't know, you can just easily go. Like we hit Pancho and Lefties all the time,
Boom.
but
And
you can
guac.
just you can get bro.
Guac,
Queso.
salsa, different kinds of salsas.
Yeah.
Queso, Mitch.
Street corn? Come on, dude. Margaritas?
Yeah.
Strawberry margarita?
Damn. Does this go to liquor too? You can only have. Oh, the
He
Mexican
said,
beer.
"Dan, does this go to liquor too?"
Well, Mexican beer is pretty good.
Yeah, and tequila.
Yeah, tequila's
I'm a
nice.
big tequila guy.
Is that your go-to drink?
yeah, absolutely.
Nice. You go clear or the?
Yeah, I go Blanco. I go tequila with water and lime. That's all I want.
Is
I
mezcal
like
Mexican?
mezcal. Yeah.
Dude, mezcal is. I don't like mezcal. It
Oh,
tastes,
I
it's like
like
smoky
mezcal.
and tastes
I
like
love
gasoline to me.
I love the smoky
Love the
because I like
Scotch.
Scotch, so I like mezcal's fucking nice. I think put a little orange peel on there.
What's the Scotch that had with the blue? It's like literally in the name.
Blue Label.
Blue Label. That's what. Yes.
That's shit's a waste of money.
My rookie year, I went and got it because I thought I was like, the man now.
Yeah.
And I had poured one glass and I had one sip and I was like, this shit is disgusting. I still have it to this
It's
day. been
whatever.
10
Yeah,
years.
it's
Is
like
the
all
blue
marketing.
label? Is that what is that? Johnny Walker?
I've only had it
Maybe.
once.
Yeah,
I had
think so. It
Johnny
sounds
Walker's
right. It
Blue
sounds
label,
right.
Black label.
Yeah, Black Label's you're fine with Black Label. That shit's great.
I don't know the
Or
difference.
Red Label, yeah. But dude, I remember Michael Che at a house party once, and we're there, and Mark Norman and I roll in, and we're fucking hammered, and Michael showing off, pulls out Blue Label and pours it for us, and I was like, dude, this is so. Not only do we not know, but we're fucking bomb. We're not gonna know what this shit tastes like. Like I'll drink the cheapest shit.
Yeah, dude. That shit and gin too. I don't like gin at all.
Oh, I love gin.
Really?
You don't like a martini,
No, I like the idea of a martini.
dude?
I'm with you on that.
I like the
Charles loves
idea.
martinis. Like what is it? Extra dirty double blue cheese olives.
Oh
That's
my
disgusting.
God. No, that shit rules.
Brings us back.
You
Call
hate
back
blue
on blue
cheese.
cheese.
We're
I
back.
can't stand it.
Dude, a martini. There's something so fun about getting martini fucked up.
Apple martinis, espresso
No,
martinis.
those are espresso's kind of nice though. Actually, the espresso, those are kind of good. Apple's fucking whatever. That's like for a hot chick or something. But espresso martinis are solid. And
if
then,
you got a suit on and you
Yeah.
have a martini in your hand, you're 10 times cooler than you actually
you look
are.
like Roger Sterling from Mad Men. You look cool as fuck.
Exactly. If I knew that reference, I would 100% agree with you.
Oh, that's a good show.
This man's an encyclopedia with literally every subject.
What's your favorite scotch or whiskey?
My favorite scotch is Lagavulin. If price ain't an issue, Lagavulin. If it is, I mean, I will drink anything. I'm fine. I'm not like, I came up at the open mics being like, oh, well, drinks are free. Great. And
That's
I still
where we're
feel
going.
I feel the same way with coffee. Like if you give me a good cup, I'll be like, oh, this is good. But I drank gas station coffee forever and I liked it and I still like it.
That mud, that
But
Folgers.
Something about like going on a road trip and just pulling into that gas station, just knowing you're gonna get a big cup of coffee.
Big styrofoam cup.
I love that shit. But yeah, I like the peaty stuff. So like a Lagavulin's so fucking good. Lafroig is so good. But I mean, dude, I'll honestly have anything. I have like, problem is like I have a reputation for drinking, so every gift I get is scotch, and now I have way too much at home. So I'm just like looking at it like, when the fuck am I gonna drink all this?
Yeah.
You
That's
know?
your number one scotch?
My number one?
Yeah.
Probably Lagavulin.
I feel like too, like when we were leaning in, do it like, cause I love whiskey. It's like people only gift you whiskey, and there's no range of versatility
Mm-hmm.
at my house. It's only whiskey. My favorite is Angel's Envy Rye,
Ooh, that's good stuff.
the Caribbean rum casks.
I love that
Oh.
shit. We're doing that with our whiskey, me and Norman's whiskey.
no
Bodega
shit.
Cat, we're doing the rum cask for our next batch.
Oh,
So I'm pumped. But I love that shit. And like Lagavulin I never had, but I was on Amy Schumer's tour when she was doing like, when she just did Trainwreck and she was like at her absolute most popular. We were doing like arenas in every green room she had Lagavulin. So that's like when I first tried it, I was like, wow, this is like amazing.
Yeah.
And then they would just let you keep the bottles because we'd fly back private. So I'm like, oh, I don't have to check anything. I can just, this is like very new. So that's when I was like, wow, this is, obviously I wasn't buying that myself, but I was like, this is pretty nice.
Are you a beer guy?
Not really, but I mean, I like it. I usually drink hard liquor, but just because you just saw me have to get up to, I pee like a racehorse. I drink like 4 or 5 coffees a day too. So I have to cut out, you know.
Just know that it takes so much time in the bathroom.
Yeah.
A
but
man of efficiency.
But I like beer. I like Yingling. I drink like classic. I just like that it's the oldest American beer. So I was like, Yingling, I'll drink that. I like what else? Guinness is fucking great. I love Guinness.
My dad's a big Guinness guy.
I don't know about that.
I love it.
What I found out in this conversation is how basic I am.
Really?
Yeah, because you just, the movies, depth, all the sports, depth. You're talking about.
I just like what I like. I like Bud Light. I like anything. I don't give a shit.
Have you had Hams?
What is it?
Hams Light, the
I
land of
don't
sky
know.
blue waters.
No. What is that?
$12.95 for a 30
It's
rack.
Are you
Taylor's favorite
serious?
beer once
Yes.
upon a time.
Well, it was in 2010.
Damn. I think, what was it?
That stuff goes hard. At my
Yeah.
wedding, that was the only beer we served.
And that is true.
I like
That
that.
is, yeah.
Have
It's
you
the only option.
you seen this annual event that we do?
I heard about it because Shane asked me to fill in. Because
Yeah.
he was like, I'm bailing. Do you want to do Beer Fest or whatever it's called? Beer
Beer
Chain.
Games?
What a piece
And I
of
was
shit.
like, what the fuck are you first off, you got to give me more than like a week's notice. It was like a week out. I was like, no, I can't do that. But
Chris came.
Chris who?
Chris O'Connor.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he came out.
What
It
is
was
what
awesome.
is it
Great time.
exactly? He didn't even explain to me what I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I can't.
It's Beer Games Championship of the World.
And by the time you're listening, it is out right now.
Yeah, it's out
Beer
right
Games
now.
is
You
out.
can
All,
go see
all
it.
this stuff's out. Yes.
16 teams of 2 compete in multiple beer drinking games events.
So
You
how
find
fucked up are you by the end?
A lot.
Really?
Yes. It's this storyline this year is Will Compton.
Hey, let me call you back. We're doing a podcast with Sam Morril. Yeah, the bro's here.
Who's that?
She sounds like Shane.
Hang on. All right, you're on speaker.
Yeah, the Knicks fucking suck, dude.
Well then what the fuck are the Sixers, Shane?
Exact same as the fucking Knicks this year, baby. This is you guys' Super Bowl. Still didn't get a ring, man. It felt good though. You guys won a series. It felt so good to have the Garden back.
It did. You're right.
Back
Embiid is always really healthy when it matters.
Hey, the mecca of basketball that has 0 fucking rings, dude.
2
What a
rings.
trash-
We have 2 rings,
trash
and they both
bullshit
count.
place. Oh my god.
Jesus, you're a bunch of fucking losers.
Yeah, I took you off speaker. Are you here yet? All right. I'll hit you after this podcast. Yeah. All right, see you. All right.
I was getting those texts all serious. I was at game 2 and the Knicks had that crazy comeback, 5 points in like 30 seconds or whatever it was. And he's just texting me just fury. And my friend and I were like hugging. We're like, oh my God, we're going crazy. I mean, to see that shit live, DiVincenzo hit the three and Hardenstein get the block. And I'm like, yeah. I didn't see that there was maybe a foul there. He saw that. But he was
Shane takes his sport serious, man.
Yeah.
He does. You should have seen him
Notre
after
Dame?
Notre Dame, Ohio State.
Yeah.
We were with him at that game, and you thought his whole family died in a car accident.
That's how I am with the Knicks. I'm fucking I was in such a bad mood when all the injuries started to pile up. I was just like, it was affecting my sets. I rolled into a set at the Cellar like in a really bad mood in my dumb fucking Knicks outfit from the game. And then I was just like, they're like, what the fuck? And I'm like, they lost. That's what the fuck.
Yeah.
You know?
That fandom, man, you're talking about, it just makes you a man.
Yeah, I just love watching, any of the major sports. But yeah, I'm into it. I even like ones I don't know about. Like, I don't know tennis or soccer that well, but if there's a good game on, I fucking love it.
Do you know the rules of soccer?
Not well.
Me neither. I want to kind of like it, but I just can't.
I've been watching the last couple of weeks for the Euro Cup and everything. I was like, dude, that was pretty fun.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just so into it, and I don't know. They're all you realize you're watching such a high level. So even though I don't know shit, I'm kind of like, this is pretty entertaining.
And then you see that video circulating where the fans are like climbing through the vents to try and get in the
fucking
game.
Just psycho.
It's a different world. It's a different game.
What's going to be here for the World Cup coming up? So
yeah,
we're not. I don't think we're equipped for that.
We'll find out.
We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out.
I saw that Beckham documentary on Netflix.
So good, right?
Insane. And just seeing how much.
And I knew nothing about it.
Nothing. And like I was a kid during that time and watching how much he like basically controlled style for so long. He'd get a haircut. Now all the kids had the haircuts. They just lived and breathed what he did, everything he did. Spice Girls, all that. It was awesome. You should see it.
I started because it's a series, right?
Yeah.
I watched like the first episode.
It's really good.
Another one I just started was that Federer one.
I haven't seen that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's been dope so far, but dude,
yeah,
any of those docs, dude. It's like when the Lance Armstrong, what was that one called?
That made me like him way more.
Yeah.
Because you just kind of owned.
You realize too that everybody was doing it. He just found the better way.
Yeah, everyone's cheating.
Obviously not the better way. He got caught.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, like, as he was like dusting people, because everybody was trying to out him.
But he raised a lot of money for cancer too.
Yeah.
I mean, he did some good shit while he was cheating.
While he was cheating. Yeah. We got anything else?
I don't think so. Boys in the back.
Well, good.
I was gonna say you're more than welcome to participate in the beer games next year.
All right. Who's my partner, Normand?
If you want me to be, absolutely.
It's rowdy.
It's crazy.
Yeah, pull up that clip again.
Yeah, did you see that clip where Taylor? Hey, that mullet was flowing.
Yeah, I got to bring it back, man.
You had a mullet for this?
I had a nice.
Yeah,
I had a mullet.
This
going.
one was not this past year, but the year before or last year.
It is awesome, and then so you start off with a 36-ounce beer chug for time, like you and Mark would drink, and then whatever your times were added together, and that would cause seeding, just for then flip cup, then beer pong, then beer ball, and then a championship beer pong round.
So one of us could be a sick chugger and the other one fucks us, and now we're playing like
that plays into
some
it.
bad. But you could be a great chugger and not good at like beer pong and other stuff.
Exactly.
So I see where this gets complicated.
Yeah. And the better you do in the early rounds, you get more drunk. But the people that maybe not be as good, they're more sober. So it all kind of equals itself out as you go like farther down the line.
What about are the people enforcing the lean in beer pong?
We had a whole set of
there are a
rules.
lot of referees.
The
out
lean
there.
fucking infuriates me. We did a Comedy Cellar. It was my idea.
You'll
The
fit
Comedy
right
Cellar
in.
party one year, where I put out there. I was like, they do a really good job with the party. They get like Popeye's fried chicken.
Mhm.
They get like sandwiches. It's like great catering, and obviously it's open bar. We're all getting fucked up. But I said one year to Liz, the manager, I was like, I'd like a beer pong table at the party this year, and she goes, I'll do one, but I'm getting two. Turned into a huge thing. Everyone's fighting, but I forgot who was on my team, but I know it was against Mo Amer, the comedian, and he's a fucking leaner. He was
Calling elbows the whole time.
Oh my God, just leaning, and we were just kind of like, dude, you're leaning. He's like, this is fine, but I'm like, I don't want to be leaning too. It ruins it fucks up the curve. It ruins the game. I'm talking about this like a purist.
Hey, you'll be a purist next year. We need you next year.
I sound like a racist when black people started playing basketball. This is not how it's supposed to be played.
Yeah. You'll have a lot of fun at this. David Bakhtiari, he's a tackle. He is very similar to kind of how you're talking right now. Like every rule has to be followed to a T. He finds the edges in the rules. It's a good time.
Well, the first scene of the movie with me and Mark was we're playing beer pong.
Yeah.
I love when you combine sports and alcohol. I think it's great.
It's a classic, wholesome game too.
Is that your favorite? What's your favorite drinking game?
Yeah, I would say probably beer pong. Yeah, I'm a chug guy though. Like I'm pretty good at games, but that's my like.
Oh, he can chug.
Yeah, damn.
Best chugger I've ever seen.
I beat Julian Edelman in a chugging contest on our thing, but it was water because he had to shoot the next day.
God, bet it felt good still, no matter what.
Yeah,
the chug is that's my thing for sure.
I like. I mean, beer pong's awesome. I also really enjoy beer ball and beer die.
What's beer die?
Beer die is like it's more of like a subjective line. You have to like toss the die above this line that you're all kind of like, it's like elbows, gentleman's game. You toss the beer die up and you're trying to land it in the cup. But if it hits the table and like you fumble it at all, it's a point. If it hits the ground, I think it's 2 points. If it gets in the cup, I think it's 3 points. But it's just a great competitive game. To where it involves some skill. It's like you got to be good at catching the die. You can only catch it with one hand. You can't use a supportive hand.
Damn.
You played beer ball before?
I've never played it, no.
Beer
the
ball,
only ones I know are flip cup and beer pong.
Beer ball is a can of beer on all four corners.
Mm-hmm.
And so Will and I are partners. Will throws the ball, and if the ball hits a can, between the time that they retrieve the ball and bring it back to the table, I crack my beer and drink it as fast as I can. And then it's whoever finishes both their beers first.
I like it.
Yeah.
Did you come up with this one, or is this
No, this has been around for a while.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know that one. It looks fun. And then, how big is the ball we're talking?
Ping pong ball.
Yeah, ping pong ball.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. But I just think beer pong is just such a classic.
Yeah,
Everybody's played it at one point in their life. It's just a fun game.
I remember I was a kid playing beer pong, like underage drinking in New York, just fake ID and the whole thing. And I don't know how it happened, but I got too drunk and I was talking shit to some big guy, random dude in the bar. And and I don't know, like it wasn't affecting him, my shit talking, and I was like trying to get a rise at him. I was annoyed. So after he beat me, I just took one of the empty cups and threw it at him, and he still kind of like laughing off. Then I threw another one at him, and then I was so drunk I picked up the water cup and beamed him with it.
Yeah.
And he just looked at me and I was like, this is a big fucking dude. And he just walked over me. My friend went out for a cigarette, and all I remember is my friend, he was looking at the dude and he just saw the guy holding me by the throat against the bar. And he's like, shit, we should get the fuck out of here. Just with 2 fingers, just hold me like that. And I was like, ooh.
I'm surprised it took him that long.
I know. I deserved it. I was
great
composure.
I deserved to get the shit kicked out of me, and he had restraint. But like, dude, those nights at the bar just getting fucked up playing beer pong, those are fun. It's a fun fuck up, but that next day, you just get the worst night's sleep because you're pissing all night.
Maybe for you, man. You got that acorn bladder.
I got the worst bladder.
Dude, I would take a house party over a bar in college.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
Sure.
Yeah, but I was in New York. There weren't a lot of house parties.
Yeah. What about Tulane? I
was only there for a year and a half. Yeah, of course. I remember even pledging the frat at first just to get the free booze. Like I didn't want to fucking join a frat.
Yeah.
I remember when they gave me a bid at one of them, but it was also like I found out later like the frat that just got in trouble for blackface or something. And I was like, don't think I want to be a part of this frat.
Not a great look.
But they cornered me in the room and they were like, you are our first bid. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna leave school. I'm not doing this.
Yeah,
I'm getting the fuck out of here.
And I thought they were gonna beat the shit out of me because they like were all clenching their fists. I think they tried to intimidate me, and I was like, oh no, I don't want to do this. But then since a bunch of them have like come to shows and stuff.
Ever since watching Animal House, I always thought I don't get the deal with fraternities. And
it's like just not me. It's not.
It's
I don't get the idea of a guy doing horrible shit to me and then being like, "We're brothers now."
Yeah, doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Came out of Duke where they're shoving the broom up the dude's ass.
I know. I don't get the camaraderie there.
Yeah, we're closer.
He's raping me. He's like, now we're cool.
This is it.
Yeah.
He earned his stripes. Bring it in. Break it down.
Yeah. It's been fun, man. We appreciate you coming
Oh,
on.
this was a blast, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
We'll have to do it again. Beer Games, Championship of the World 2025.
Okay.
You're in.
You're in.
All right.
And Mark sounds like he's in since
I'll try to convince him.
This is literally way too early planning because we had our planning done last year and
it fell apart. Like you
Fell
said,
apart in a hurry.
Shane bailed. Shane dropped out.
Yeah, he's a busy dude.
He is.
yeah,
He is.
chasing the bag.
He's got that. Well, he should be, man. Shit, he's got the hot hand right now. He's got a.
Is that Thunder?
Was that? I hope not.
Maybe we just got nuked and we're okay because we're in this fucking bunker right
Wouldn't
here.
that be sick? Well,
Wouldn't
not
that be
cool, but
crazy?
like if we actually lived. This is the one thing that could hold it all off.
92 degrees.
Pulling up-
Jesus
pulling up
Christ.
the-
Pulling up the weather.
All right.
All right, boys. Subscribe. Thank
Rate
you.
5 stars.
Big hugs, tiny kisses.